Hey everyone, this is Daniel,
And I'm Jun,
and we are
Korean.
American.
This is Daniel sounded right.
This is Daniel, right?
Yeah,
That's not what I said the first time. I said it's Daniel.
you said it's Daniel.
Why was that so weird?
It's weird.
So we just recorded our intro like 4 times because I couldn't figure out what I usually say.
Approaching our 100th episodes.
Oh,
It's
that
one
was
of
so
those,
weird.
yeah, it's one
Yeah.
of those things where like the most common things all of a sudden feel so foreign.
Foreign, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
There's this phenomenon in English
Mm-hmm.
where sometimes you look at a word, like a very common word you use, every day for
Yeah.
your life, and it just looks misspelled.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a similar phenomena in Korean?
There is. I don't think there's a word for it,
Uh-huh.
but there is a word for that in English.
Oh, what is it?
I don't know.
Look at
I know
ChatGPT.
I know that there is a word for that.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
Anyways, there is that thing in Korean too.
Yeah.
Especially for me, it happens when I repetitively say something and all of a sudden it feels so foreign and weird.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So ChatGPT tells me this phenomena is called semantic satiation. But is that or wordnesia? Wordnesia?
I
That's
think
more
it's a
slang.
former. Yeah.
Okay. So when you repeat or focus on a word over and over, either by saying it aloud, reading it repeatedly, or fixating on its spelling, your brain starts to temporarily tune it out. This is because of how neurons work. Neurons fire when processing information. If the same signal keeps coming in, like the same word, they get less responsive over time. This is called neural habituation. Your brain goes, okay, I got it, moving on.
Mm.
So, with semantic satiation, if you repeat a word so many times, it loses meaning. Like, is apple even a word? Like, why does that not look familiar to me? Or wordnesia, you stare at a word, often while writing or editing, and suddenly doubt the spelling. That's what I was referring to.
Oh. So we were both referring to the accurate phenomena. Like repetitive saying
Uh-huh.
and then looking at it
Oh,
very.
that's what you were saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was referring more to like you look at a word and like you swear it's misspelled. Does that ever happen in Korean?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
I was referring to Korean when I was talking about my experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So you like look at a character and you're less like, why does it seem so foreign to me?
For Korean, I think spelling is more straightforward. So I think I tend to less doubt the spelling,
Yeah.
but it just sounds so weird.
Okay. I
Yeah,
see.
it's like,
Interesting.
oh, like, have I been saying this the whole time, kind of?
I do appreciate that about Korean. As far as I know, there's only one way to spell a
Yeah.
set of letters forming a character. Not letters.
Yeah.
I've
Consonants and
consonants and
vowels.
vowels.
Yeah.
Is there a term that encompasses both of those? Like a character is those combined, right? Like,
No.
okay.
So it's Korean. It's called chaum. Chaum is consonant and moum is vowels.
But there's no word to encompass both.
I mean, you can say it's like chamoum, but that's just like a what's that word? Conjunction.
Conjunction.
Conjunction of two words.
I see,
Yeah.
I see, I see. Okay. Anyway, I appreciate that any combination of consonants and vowels together in Korean forming a character, there's only one way to pronounce that thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Not like, accents and dialects aside,
Ah.
it's the same pronunciation.
Ah.
Whereas in English, you can put the same, like, there's all these rules, but there's always exceptions to the rules of how you pronounce it. I remember seeing like a TikTok reel or whatever
Yeah.
of like trying to teach English to someone and how ridiculous it is.
Oh yeah, like the flipping of the card
Exactly.
things.
Yeah, yeah. You know
Like-
what I mean?
Like comb is
Yeah.
like
Comb.
comb, and then come it's not comb, it's
Com,
com.
yeah.
That thing.
And TOMB is not
Yeah,
tome.
yeah.
Wait, comb, tome, it's tomb.
Tomb, yeah.
Yeah, like that. Okay, exactly. So you've seen it too.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just made me realize how ridiculous it is. And again, made me appreciate in Korean, like how straightforward the pronunciation is. There's only one way to pronounce it.
There is only one way to pronounce it, but when you combine it together and pronounce it together as like a continuous thing, sometimes like the pronunciation differs,
Oh.
and that's like a problem.
Oh,
You know-
does it differ?
kind of.
Sometimes you do or don't. There's
There-
not a rule that.
It's the silliest thing ever. But
Uh-huh.
after like our former president who just got impeached,
Yeah.
got inaugurated, there was this whole debate whether like how to pronounce his name because his name is Yoon Suk Ryul, right?
That's hard to pronounce.
Some people pronounce it as Yoon Suk-yeol,
Uh-huh.
and some people pronounce it as Seogyol.
Seoul.
Seogyol versus Seongyeol.
Seongyol. Oh, okay.
So that there was a debate.
Oh,
even.
there is some
Yeah,
debate.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But
But I
like
feel
he
like
had to correct. He had to like officially say this is how you pronounce my name.
which one is it?
I don't know.
I feel like the exception cases or the cases like this in Korean are few and far between.
Yeah,
Versus
yeah.
in English, it's just every word
Yeah,
is kind of
English
unique.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pronunciation thing happened to me yesterday. I don't know if this is too much information, but last four of my car is 9695. How would you pronounce that?
9695 9695
Guruk or something like.
9695.
Yeah, I kept saying 9695,
Ah.
and they were like, "Mo?"
Ah.
It's like 9695. They're like, "Oh, gurukuro," or whatever.
9695.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But you are supposed to slur those together.
Yeah.
Formally.
Formally, yeah.
So 96 is incorrect.
So there is a thing. There is a thing where you pronounce it differently, right? Because
Oh, I know.
there is no rear there, but that's how you're supposed to pronounce it.
Well, I'm just asking you. 96 is incorrect. It's guruk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Officially, you have to pronounce it as 구륙.
Okay. It's not like a 9695 or it's 9695 or whatever. Because that's like 9695.
9695.
Okay. So technically, 9695 is incorrect.
Is incorrect.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Ah, interesting.
Anyway, yeah, that was. I was confused why they were confused
Yeah.
when I was saying 9695.
Yeah, but when you say it slowly, one by one, the way you pronounce it is probably correct.
Okay.
구육구.
Yeah.
But when you do it fast, you have to say
구륙구로.
구륙구.
Okay. Is that, by the way, is license plate last four digits considered like private information or sensitive information in Korea? Should I be concerned letting that out there?
I don't think so. How could it be? It's like literally out there.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to reveal my license plate number in the U.S. on air.
Oh.
This is not the full one. That's the only reason why I feel like, oh, it's okay. It's just the last four digits. Anyway, June, how was your weekend?
My weekend was sadly uneventful. And the reason why I'm saying it's sad is because the weather was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Weather's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, no, Saturday was raining, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yesterday was amazing.
I did hapju jamming.
Oh, you did? Oh, nice. Okay.
We're in trouble.
Why?
We're so bad.
Band drama?
We're so bad.
I mean, why is that trouble? It's
Oh,
just for fun.
because we're gonna perform in about a month.
I see. Yeah.
And
Okay.
we're still very bad.
You're feeling the pressure.
Yeah, and then we added like another song last week.
Or are you playing the same songs over and over?
No.
Okay.
Like completely different.
Oh, but you're saying you added to the set list.
Yeah, we had like
okay.
7, and then
7.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
and then we realized we don't have like the quote unquote like encore song. Where it's supposed to be like a more like sing along, kind of like everyone knows.
Yeah.
We realized we don't have one of them, so we added one more. We're already bad to begin with. And then we added one more. I don't know. 어떻게든 되겠지.
What's that mean? It'll work out?
Yeah, it'll work out.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's coming to me. The way that Koreans say encore to me is so funny.
Encore?
Encore.
Yeah. I think that's the French pronunciation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Encore. No.
Encore.
No, is it I think it's encore.
Oh, you know French?
I took some French.
Oh, then I don't know why.
Where the the hard like AE comes from.
Then I don't know
I
where
just
it
think
came
it's so
from.
funny. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the weather yesterday. I taught my
I
third
saw.
kid to bike ride.
Yeah. It
So
was
satisfying, June.
so adorable. So adorable.
It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's one of the best feelings I think as a parent.
Yeah. I hope you were my parent when I was learning to ride a bike. Because I told you, right? It's like one of the most traumatizing experiences for me.
It was traumatizing for me too.
I was probably like 4 or 5, and it's like not even 5. maybe 3 or 4.
So young. For two-wheeler?
Yeah. I still remember that dark, empty tennis court.
Where you learned?
Oh. And I look back and think, like, what was such a big deal that I had to learn it that way?
Yeah.
And maybe, like, yeah, the early 80s parents were like that.
How did you learn to ride a bike?
It's like the same way, like my dad pushes me from behind,
Then
and
let
like
you
he
go.
secretly
Yeah.
let it go,
Yeah.
right?
Then you crash.
Yeah,
And you just do that until you learn.
yeah. But he was like so mad at me every time I can't do it.
Of course. Yeah. That's just I've had similar situations. I don't know if I talked about it on air. I might have. I remember my son was 2, my firstborn. He was 2 years old, and he was working on a puzzle.
Oh, yeah, you talked
I
about
share
it.
this story.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll just say, like, it's nothing about you, June. It's just reflective of the parent
yeah,
and feeling like if, either the kid doesn't learn, you're a bad parent, or just like really they're, I don't know, channeling some, at least for me, my conclusion was that was what was modeled for me too. And so it just naturally comes out. It's like, oh, when I remember growing up, for me, my experience like that was factoring, like factoring math, which we'll come into later. But it's just like, what two numbers, like when you add them turn into like 6, and when you multiply them are 10? Like, just do it. That's not even probably a valid factoring. And I just remember like being like 3rd grade me, just like frozen. Just like, what, like, I'm not even thinking at that point, right? I'm just like traumatized.
yeah.
It's like lots of cursing and yelling and like, slamming of pencils and
Yeah.
ripping of paper. Yeah.
Parenting is hard.
But yeah, I was just going to say, I really enjoyed the weather. It was like the perfect.
You went camping, right?
Oh, we had a picnic Saturday, even in the rain.
Oh, it looked like it was a camping site.
It was an awesome location. So this was actually on the, I guess, former military base in Yongsan.
Oh,
They still have a lot of housing there.
God, the privilege.
Yeah. So you have to, like, there's big security checkpoints. You give them you actually don't have to give them your US passport, but you give them some sort of identification, and they'll, keep it at the front.
So if you're U.S. citizen, you can just enter freely? Or
No,
do you
I
have
think
to
you have
know-
to be accompanied by or visiting someone that lives there, or
But you know someone there.
we were going to someone's home who lives there, and yeah, basically once you step on, it's less like it's America, June.
Yeah.
The the trash you don't have to sort; you just throw it all into one bag. It feels so
good.
foreign. It feels
so good.
I've come around on the trash stuff. It feels so wasteful. Like, I remember being in the U.S. recently too, in Guam, specifically in Guam. Also, I didn't go back to the 48 states anyway, and like there was nothing for umshikmul, so I was just like putting a kind of full cup of liquid into the trash.
Yeah.
Felt so wrong. Yeah,
But it felt so good too.
I think after like a day, you get used to it. Then
Yeah.
you're like so free.
Yeah.
It's so simple to
Yeah.
just throw stuff away.
I'm actually one of those people who are very skeptical about recycling because I know that a very small percentage of that actually gets recycled compared to like the hardship that everyone has to go through.
Yeah.
I almost feel like the US way is right. Like it's just like centralized somewhere,
Yeah.
and then like professional workforce does
Oh,
it for
sorts
you.
it.
Kinda.
Yeah. Yeah, it's June. Bike riding. By the way, let's just intro the topic. Yeah. Today we're just gonna talk about daily life.
Yes,
Okay.
which is one of my favorites. Yeah.
I think it's formally our 3rd daily life one.
Is it
Maybe not.
only?
Maybe
Okay.
more.
Yeah.
No, we've done daily life episodes very centered around a specific topic, but we've had a few that's just more like a champong, like a grab bag of random topics. So I think this is the 3rd one formally,
Yeah.
but maybe not.
I love daily lives. It's because you slowly accumulate things that you think that are curious
that
and
stand
want to
out.
know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think every one of those are so good.
I'm not sure this one
Yeah.
qualifies. I think the reason why it's been so long, by the way, it's like my daily life doesn't change that much, and I think I don't have new observations or experiences as much as before. So yeah, it's been quite some time, but yeah. Okay, first one, bike riding. I guess my observation is that I would say I don't know when or how kids learn to ride their bikes, but I see a lot of very old kids on four-wheelers with
Really?
training wheels.
Really?
And yeah, it's nothing wrong with it. But for me,
Ah.
it's just like, oh, like I shared earlier, I mean, seeing your kid learn to ride your two-wheeler,
Hmm.
it is like the most, it might be one of the greatest sense of accomplishments in their
Yeah,
young
it's a
life.
very palpable,
Yeah,
tangible achievement.
yeah, and specifically for me because like, there are other milestones too.
Hmm.
Crawling, walking, learning to read,
Yeah.
potty training. By the way, my youngest just got potty trained last week too. So it's like,
Whoa.
a week or two of big milestones in our family.
Yeah.
But bike riding for me feels more like you're really like you're teaching them. Like it's
Mm.
not the other milestones I think will
Oh,
happen when the kids
they
are
just pick it
ready.
up. Yeah.
Exactly. Or swimming. I don't know why for me bike riding feels more. I can't actually swim well,
Hmm.
nor teach my kids to swim.
Mm.
Maybe I think swimming's almost usually done with like a swim teacher.
Ah,
Like
yeah,
you just
yeah.
go to a pool
Oh,
and you
that's
enroll
right.
them in a
Yeah,
class.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
not the parent like one on one with the kid,
Hmm.
right? But bike riding feels that way for me.
Hmm.
I think reading is similar too.
Mm.
But again, a lot of that might happen at school too, right? It's some
Hmm.
combination of parent and teacher together.
Yeah.
But yeah, bike riding for me feels like, man, it's just like you just taught them
Yeah.
to bike ride.
So it's more of an accomplishment for you.
Yeah, it feels that way.
Ah.
And but really it's just like and there's so much fear involved too,
Mm.
right? It's
Mm.
like falling over, etc. And so seeing your kid like conquer that fear, I think for me it's
Mm.
very satisfying. Anyway, all three kids learned to ride on the same bike too, which is
Mm.
like every time one of my kids does it, I look at the other kids and reflect back. I'm like, oh, they're so cute.
Ah.
We have like classic videos of each of them.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I would say in the US there's almost a sense of embarrassment when you're a
Mm.
bigger kid riding like a tricycle or
Mm.
keeping your training wheels on.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other kids would make fun of you.
Mm.
So it's like, oh, I'm gonna learn. I want to learn.
Mm.
But for some reason, again, I feel like the kids in Korea, I see pretty big kids riding four wheelers still.
Mm.
So I
How
don't know
big?
if you have any thoughts on
How
that.
big are you talking about?
I'd say like between like 8 and 9 years old.
Oh.
To be clear, I see a lot of kids riding two wheelers too, right?
Uh,
Like we went to the Bundang Jungang Park, like Bundang
Chungwang
Central
Park?
Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were all sorts of kids riding bikes, of course, of all ages.
Mm.
Actually, my observation there was a lot of kids were riding bikes that are way too big for them. I don't know if they're just riding their parents' bike.
So
Or...
it's like two very extreme situations.
Well, I don't know why they're riding massive bikes. I think it might make sense from like a efficiency standpoint. Like, why buy a bike if they're gonna outgrow it in like a year, right? So
Well, I feel like it goes hand in hand with like in Korea, if you go to school where it makes you wear a uniform, like on the first grade, everyone's like sleeves are like here.
a little too long.
It's like so long.
They can grow
Yeah.
into it.
Maybe it's the same thing.
I'm that way too.
Which is only just wise.
Yeah. Buy them a bike that's a little too big.
Uh,
But seriously, it's like I see like I'd say 9-year-olds riding like pretty much bikes that are meant for adults,
yes.
which I find comical. But again, I can resonate with that because
Yeah.
I would do it. But I feel like again, I don't know why there isn't a social stigma maybe from other kids when you're an older kid riding a four-wheeler, whether parents just don't have the time or whether it's just not as big of a deal. Like bike riding for me, I bike rode in my childhood probably for 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Every single day I rode my bike.
Yeah.
And
It's
I don't know
almost
if
a
it was
necessity in
to
the
get to
US.
friends'
Yeah,
houses.
yeah,
Yeah. But I don't know if it was as, and sorry, in the suburbs, right, there's nice sidewalks. It's like very safe to ride your bike. But I don't know if bike riding has the same kind of appeal and associations in Korea. Like an integral part of your childhood, bike riding around the neighborhood with your friends. It's like giving you a sense of freedom and mobility. And is it just something that like every Korean kid learns, grows up and learns to do?
I feel like it's more of a hobby type thing than a necessity in Korea because everything's so close by
Yeah.
in proximity. So there's not like it's not a necessity that you have to bike ride to your friend's house. Even if you want to go to your friend's house, it's like the next building, right? So you just walk there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I feel like it's just it's just an entertainment, leisurely thing that you do. And it's more like the streets in Korea are definitely less bike friendly. It's actually kind of 위험해, like dangerous.
Oh, the streets?
Yeah.
Yeah, very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a biker on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a bike. I have an electric bike.
Yeah.
I rarely use it.
Yeah.
It's because I bought that out of necessity. I thought because I don't own a car.
Yeah.
So I felt like I'll just go to places
Mm-hmm.
riding my bike. It's always so 애매해. Like
Oh, riding the e-bike?
yeah, because it's the distance is either too far that you have to take a bus,
Yeah.
or it's like too short that you can just walk. And the public transportation system is so good
Yeah.
that it's like, why shouldn't I just ride the bus, right?
Why'd you get it to begin with? Your e-bike?
I don't know. Midlife crisis.
Okay, but if you had to estimate, what percent of Koreans learn to ride a bike before the age of, I don't know, 10?
I think it differs by generation. I don't know now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
especially my generation, I guess like it'll be weird if someone doesn't know how to ride
Oh,
a
it
bike.
is like 100%.
Almost, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when do they learn? Or is it around that age?
Around my age, I
5,
think.
so young.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's pretty young. Okay.
I remember my first bike. Probably not my first bike, but the first bike that I remember was when I was living in the States.
Oh.
Yeah, it was from Fisher.
Uh-huh. Fisher Price?
Yeah. And it was like red.
Yeah.
Like the pipings weren't red.
Oh,
It had like
okay.
a red, like you know what I'm talking
The
about?
foam wrapper?
The foam wrapper. And had like a yellow like thunder mark
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And you know the thing that's different, like American, I don't know why, but American bikes, kids bikes especially, are different from Korea.
Uh-huh.
Is that the way that they brake?
Ah, you reverse the
You
pedal?
reverse it, yeah.
Try to leave
Versus
skid
in
marks.
Korea, you have like the actually dedicated brakes there,
Uh-huh.
which is it was very.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So when I rode
I think my
bike,
first bike only had the reverse pedal for
yeah,
braking.
yeah,
Yeah.
because that's when I first like really got into biking
Ah, yeah,
in the
yeah,
States.
in the States.
So it was so weird to me to like break it that way in Korea.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would try to like brake as hard as you can to leave skid marks on the sidewalk, right?
Yes.
Did you ever do the thing where you like roll over an aluminum can and it makes your bike sound like kind of like a car? Oh, like it gives it like an engine sound like.
Oh really? I never did that.
Okay. Anyway. Anyway, I suspect that the younger generation, at least in Seoul now, might not all learn to ride bikes. Yeah. And I agree. It's not a necessity in the US, but it does feel like a rite of passage. And maybe it's a city versus suburb thing,
Yeah.
but it just feels like, yeah, it's something everyone looks forward to. Everyone, learns to do it. And then you can kind of bike with your friends around. Again, gives you a bit of independence.
I'm not 100% sure about this, but I heard there are things that Gen Z don't know how to do
Oh,
that is
yeah,
very
yeah.
common for like the other
Older
generations to do.
generations.
Like reading a clock, or like tying your
An
shoelaces.
analog clock, yeah.
Yeah.
Tying shoelaces.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one because my kids only recently learned, but I remember learning when I was 5 or something myself. But I don't know why that is. I think so many of the kids' shoes now come laceless.
Yeah.
Like they don't have laces, they're
Yeah.
Velcro or whatever.
Yeah.
It is weird.
Yeah.
Like I was feeling a little bit of shame that my kids couldn't tie their shoelaces well. They now can, not well, but they know how to actually.
Yeah.
But that was one of those similar like rite of passage moments, like teaching your kid they're coordinated enough and their shoes have laces they need to learn to tie them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I that one resonates with me. Yeah, my kids also learn late and aren't good compared to their age,
Yeah.
relative to when I was a kid. Yeah.
It's not even Gen Z because like back 20 years ago when I was like sophomore in college, there was a freshman guy
Yeah.
who didn't know how to tie his shoelaces,
What?
but he wore shoes that had laces.
Yeah.
And everyone had to do it for him.
Oh my gosh.
And we asked him like, why don't you know how to do this? And he's like, my mom did it for me
Yeah.
every time.
Oh my Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I get it. Oh, June, before we move on completely, it was the most ridiculous thing. It happened just on Sunday. Coming back from church
Yeah.
on a Korean highway.
Yeah.
There was like the far right lane. There was no car there. It was like all trafficy, right? And
Yeah.
we're like, what's going on? What's going on? As we like are passing by, it's an old ajumma
Hmm.
in a little like mobility like wheelchair thing
Oh
on the
yeah.
highway.
Oh my God. How did she get in?
It was so comical. Like seriously, just like going like 2 miles per hour,
Yeah.
like vroom, on the highway.
Oh my God.
And
That's like,
Korean highways don't have shoulders, right? She
uh,
wasn't on the shoulder. She was like
uh,
taking up a full half lane.
uh-huh.
So comical.
Like, is that
Uh,
even legal?
I don't
It's probably
know.
illegal.
I can't imagine
Yeah.
it's legal or safe.
Yeah.
I really hope they were okay,
Mm.
but it was so funny.
Interesting.
Anyway, it's one of those things that like if I saw it in the US, it would be less comical for some reason. I don't know why.
Mm.
For me, it's like okay, US highways have shoulders,
Hmm.
and actually like I would actually be really afraid for their life, I think.
Hmm.
Whereas in this one, everyone was like kind of politely like making room for her. I don't know why. It
I
was
can
so comical
imagine.
to me,
Yeah.
and more comical seeing it in Korea versus
Mm.
America. I don't know why.
Speaking of comical, this is like totally off topic,
Hmm.
but
Nothing's off topic today. This is
okay.
daily life.
So you know the president's impeached,
Yes.
and now like all the parties are going through like the presidential election phase now.
Mhm.
Everyone's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
trying to find their candidate and stuff like that. You know how like the thing where like the internal thing where internal inside of the party they go
Mhm.
through like
Some election process
election,
or selection process, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So like this one party, they were doing like a presidential debate internally,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And it was like broadcasted live on YouTube.
Oh,
So I
okay,
was like,
okay.
oh, this is interesting, and I started watching it.
Yeah.
You know what the first thing that they do?
What? What, Insa?
No,
What do they do?
they revealed their MBTI.
Oh, I saw this. I thought it was a joke.
Oh, no, it was like so funny.
The Korean headline was like MBTI infiltrates politics.
Yeah.
This is so wrong. I feel like it's so wrong.
Oh, it's so funny.
Because it's each of those whatever is on a spectrum.
It is.
That's what I mean.
But I have to
It's
be honest
dangerous.
with you. I have to be honest with you.
You
As a
appreciate it?
Korean,
Yeah.
I did appreciate it. I felt like I got to know them better.
It's so dangerous though because again, because now you know their MBTI,
Hmm.
you're gonna hear things differently. You're gonna
That's
assume
true.
things about them.
Yeah,
And again, it's on a spectrum, and you're allowed to have exceptions, right?
it is.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, that is ridiculous. I think non-Koreans would be like shocked to see candidates revealing their MBTI.
It's almost like revealing their zodiac
Yeah,
signs.
exactly. No, come on. It's more. It's
it's
more
more
valuable
yeah.
than that. But yeah. Okay, I wanted to move on to my first kind of real segment,
Hmm.
math.
Math.
So my older kids are doing nunopi at home, which is kind of math tutoring.
Hmm.
You said you grew up doing nunopi too?
Yes.
Okay, not kuman or whatever. Kuman?
Aren't they the same thing?
Are they the same thing? That's one of my questions. Kuman was, I didn't do it myself.
Kumon's a Japanese thing, I think.
Okay, but yeah, growing up in the States, you saw a lot of these like let's say Asian math tutoring places.
Mhm.
They were always kuman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
I,
did
didn't
it,
grow
but
up doing it.
It was like the name was different when I did it.
Uh-huh.
I don't think a lot of people know. It was called 공문 수학.
Kuman was called 공문 수학.
I think
Ah,
so.
okay.
Either Kumon or Nunopi. Maybe they're the same thing.
Oh,
But
are
they
they?
changed
They
their
might be the same.
name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
might be the same thing.
Yeah.
Again, having never done kuman,
Mhm.
nunopi looks like exactly what kuman was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so I wanted to ask you, June. I am at odds with my kid's math nunopi teacher. First of all, this one's very superficial, but when someone's grading work in Korea,
The red.
what do you mark for right and what do you mark for wrong?
Oh, right is circle
Uh-huh.
and wrong is a slash.
Yeah, totally different.
In the US?
It's literally flipped. Yeah.
Oh.
So I think slash, I don't know if it's supposed to mimic a check mark
Mhm.
or like a tick, like, okay, I've looked at it and it's correct.
Mm.
But yeah, seeing a slash for wrong
Mhm.
and a circle for right,
Yeah.
it's literally the flipped in the US. So
Really?
yeah.
This
Circle,
is so interesting.
yeah, circle means wrong.
Ah,
Circle means like do this again. Yeah.
that's that's so eye-opening.
Yeah. And the slash is more, again, in the US, it's a check. So like, oh, correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
And then you should look at this again
Yeah.
as a circle.
Mm-hmm.
It's more in Korea. I think this is such an interesting like mentality,
Yeah.
mindset thing. Because in Korea, I feel like it's like it's dismissal.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
cut, like crossing it
Wrong.
out. Yeah, I
Yeah.
see. So
Oh, wow.
you in the US too, to be fair, you do X's too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I've never seen circles mean right. So that
Ah,
was like kind of just throwing me off. And I was wondering if there's anything interesting there.
there should be.
Or you don't even mark that it was right. You just
Mm-hmm.
put X where it's wrong. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. It's almost as if like Korea is trying to emphasize what you got right, which is not.
My reading is that Koreans want to emphasize that it was looked at.
I
So
was
like
looked
check,
at.
check, 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 check. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe like teachers are less lazy or kichana.
Mm-hmm. In Korea.
Yeah, so they'll actually like want to mark every single question.
Oh.
But for me, circle for right?
Mm-hmm.
That's really kichana. Isn't that really annoying to like have to like circle's not easy to draw compared to a check or slash, right?
Mm-mm.
So I feel like I was like, man, you're just like circling every single question.
Mm. But it's like I think it's more appreciative,
Mm-hmm.
more like 칭찬, 칭찬.
Like good job.
Yeah, good job,
I see.
kind of.
Yeah.
Because a circle is more, I think, a positive feeling, right?
That is maybe.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I can't injunct that.
Doesn't.
For me, circle means oh shoot, I messed up.
Oh, so interesting.
It's like so associated with negative.
Ah, so there's a, like jokingly
Mhm.
in school we used to say when you have like really bad like test grades, you
Mhm.
say it's 비 온다, it's raining, because there's so many like so many of
So
those
these
little
last
lines.
slash marks, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think in app UI too,
Mm-hmm.
Koreans will put circle for affirmative, like okay,
Mm-hmm.
is a green circle. Am I wrong? Red circle?
Sounds right. Green.
Circle, right? For right.
Circle, yeah.
Okay. I never. Thank God for like the text
Uh-huh.
like label too,
Mm.
because again, circle. I don't think you associate that with right or correct or positive.
Oh, so
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm.
It's what's even more, I think, specifically Korean
What?
is the triangle. Everyone would know what a triangle is.
Yes, the shape, but not what it is in UI.
You don't know, right? Not even specifically
Oh,
UI,
you're
but
saying
as a,
every Korean would know what a triangle represents?
yeah. So this is a quiz to
No,
you.
don't tell me. Yeah, but it would be in an app UI context too.
I'm not specifically talking about app UI, but just in like
Grading.
a signage perspective.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything in America. What's a triangle in Korea?
So in Korea, so a circle is right,
Okay.
positive.
Yeah.
A cross is negative.
Okay.
And then a triangle is just in between. Like I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's a question mark, I think, in the US.
It's so ubiquitously used.
Oh, it is used
Yeah.
for like uncertain.
Uncertain. Yeah.
Oh, but when would you ever use that? Like yes, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or like even like daily conversations.
Yeah.
Let's say I ask you,
Uh huh.
what do you think about 부대찌개 today?
Uh huh.
And if you're like kind of like I don't know,
Yeah,
you'll say
whatever.
세모.
Samo?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. TIL. I didn't know that
TIL.
before. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. More math, June.
Mm.
When you subtract the bigger number from a smaller number,
Mm-hmm.
like, and you have to borrow. Okay. I should just ask you to do it. But when you're doing like 72 minus 9,
72 minus 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so maybe a little trivial.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mark anything? Like, when you borrow a 10 from the 7,
I
you
used
cross
to.
it out,
I crossed the
make
seven.
it a 6,
Yeah.
put a 1 next to the 2, and then do 12 minus 9, right?
It's pretty similar but slightly different.
Okay.
So 72 minus 9?
Yeah,
I
something
would
like
cross the 7,
Uh-huh.
make it as a 6.
You would write a 6.
And then I borrow a 10.
Yeah.
So I would put a 10 on top of the 2.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. And then subtract the 7 from the 10
Yeah.
and add the 2.
Okay, that's its own thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that's a product of how we learn math. Maybe how our brains work. But okay, so you learn the way I learn. You
Yeah.
show your work.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Mm.
Okay. Did you learn this in Korea or America?
I learned this in Korea.
Oh, maybe it changed.
Oh, yeah. So you told me last time that
They don't, my teacher does not want my kids to show their work.
keep on saying do it in your head.
Mental math. Yeah.
Maybe it's like a
Nunopi thing to help memorize?
like a new technique.
Maybe. Okay.
I don't know.
But okay,
I feel like the latter is better now that I'm an adult.
why?
Because I mentally always have to do that when
Uh-huh.
I'm subtracting things.
Uh-huh.
And it's not as fast. I understand where you're coming from because it's more aligned to like the
Yeah.
mathematical logic of how it works.
Yeah.
But I wish I didn't have to go through that process.
It's very interesting. I think this speaks deeply to our cultures.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll give the second example and then let's explore it.
Mhm.
Long division, right? I mean, it's a pretty useless skill, but anyway, long division.
It's long division.
It's where you have the like
Mm-mm-mm.
this line, like I don't know, 862 divided by 3,
Mhm.
right? How do you do that?
862 divided by 3.
Yeah.
I would put a 2 on top of the 8.
Okay.
And then put a 6 underneath the 8.
Okay.
And then subtract it so there's a 2.
Yeah.
And then like put the
Drop the
remaining
next
number.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We learned the same way.
Yeah.
My kids, they're first of all the booklet. I know it's not like a teacher specific thing. The booklet doesn't have space to show their work,
Oh.
and so I think it's in the similar vein. When I'm telling my kids like, hey, no, this is how you need to do it because you're getting confused. Do it this way. They're like, no, the teacher doesn't want me to do that. They said not to do that. I'm like, how are you supposed to do it then? It's like some weird, like abbreviated showing your work,
No.
but it's not the full process.
Ah.
And anyway, I'm like, I couldn't do it this way. That's not how I learned it.
Uh-huh.
So, but anyway,
I feel like it's intentional. It's like a new
way to teach.
Yeah. Because in my mind, it almost feels like 구구단. Do you know what 구구단
No.
is? Like the
Abacus.
the table of like the multiplication table.
That one you should memorize. Yeah.
But see, it's like the same thing because like you don't even have to think when you say like 83. You say like in our office where everyone did it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a tool for you to.
Sorry, just for the audience, we were at our previous company where we worked together. Some speaker was saying something, and to make a point, they said, "Okay, everyone in this room, when you hear the words 4-4, what do you respond?" And in unison, all 100 people said 16.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
But then I recalled because that's how I also learned math. My dad would just throw out two numbers.
Yeah.
And I would have to say it. But anyway.
Because I feel like it's just a tool. I know, like mathematics, it's all logic based, so you can always think about it. But if you always have to think about 4 times 8, like and the logic of how it goes, it's like too slow. So in the very basis of things, I think you should just memorize as a tool for like a quick access tool almost.
Yeah, keep it in memory. I don't disagree with you for, let's say, the single digit times tables.
Yeah.
Or like the single digit addition subtraction, right? But I don't know. I don't think they need to memorize like 17 minus 9, like memorize, right? And anyway, I think one of my conclusions is that I think they're trying to help kids maybe retain more information in their mind at once and deal with that rather than like having to write it out. And I don't know. This is maybe some mastery level stuff, or maybe it's about being really fast.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's valued here. But it's very prone to errors, I think. And especially when you're learning, I think you should learn to show all your work first too. And then maybe over time you can start to take shortcuts, right?
Yeah.
But I just found the whole thing a little bit like difficult for me to understand. Yeah. And anyway, I'll say too, there's a huge generational shift in math. Every person my age or older complains about what's called Common Core, which is like the new set of techniques and standards for teaching math to kids. And it's like, I can go through all the vocabulary about like number bonds and like there's no equations anymore. It's called a number sentence. I think it's brilliant, to be honest. And actually like teaching the core concepts, it's amazing, right? Because, we all have calculators. We don't need to you know, the skill in this is maybe to your point. It's not getting the answer. It's learning how to think
Yeah.
and manipulate numbers and concepts around numbers,
Yeah.
like place value, things like that. Right. So I actually think Common Core is amazing, but it's a huge generational divide between the older and the younger. Younger people think like, oh, sorry, my generation is like, God, Common Core is so stupid. Like, this is just how you do it to get the answer, right? But anyway, I actually really, really love and appreciate Common Core. But this was again something that I wasn't sure if there was like some other cultural underpinning here. It sounds like you learned to do math the way I learned to do math, so.
Maybe it's just a generational thing.
Or maybe like a specific the program thing.
I also heard that this is Korean specific, but the level of math that they teach in school has gone down so drastically.
Oh.
For instance, like I learned calculus in high school, and I learned that the current generation, they don't even have it in their curriculum.
Really?
Yeah, so
In
they,
Korea.
yeah, so they don't even know how to do calculus up
What?
until they enter college. Isn't that weird?
Is it not in Sunyun?
It's
There's no
not
calculus
anymore.
on the
It's not
Sunyun?
anymore.
They
That's
took
what
it out.
Yeah, that's what I heard. They made it
Interesting.
they made it so easy.
Yeah.
It's just one of the reactions that they made. Okay, it's one of the solutions that they made in reaction to the criticism towards how competitive the education system is.
I
So it just
see.
made it like easier and easier.
See, that's almost opposite of what you want to do because you want a broader spectrum that you can test against, right?
I think their rationale was that if it's easy enough, like you don't have to go through like hagwons and stuff. Yeah,
But then again, there's less differentiation where everyone will have to get a perfect score type thing.
yeah.
Right?
But anyways,
Yeah. There's similar, I guess, controversy in the US. For example, I think a common thing was like, I don't know, learning geometry in middle school or something like that. Now, apparently, you're not allowed to be ahead in math. And the thinking is they don't want kids who can't do it to feel bad. Sorry, maybe that's too simplistic. I'm not an educator myself. But basically, they don't want people to get too far ahead in math. And so it's almost like, keep everyone together. Don't let them advance too quickly, which, again, sounds crazy in my boomer mind. It's just like, wait, why would you hold kids back from learning more?
and it's like that
Yeah.
one thing that Asian kids could do, and they took it away from us.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I think, do you think there's anything to this thesis though? Koreans are more concerned about getting the right answer rather than how you got to it.
I think it's correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very result based. Yeah,
Yeah. Because the reason you show your work in the US, two reasons. One, it's so you don't get confused, right? For sure. But two, it's so that, I'll say three answers. The second answer is that you can't cheat. Because if you just give all the right answers without showing your work, you won't actually get credit for that when they're grading your work.
yeah,
But the third reason I think is for, like, let's say partial credit, or actually helping to understand where your math went wrong, right? Like, oh, where did you mess up? You didn't get the right answer, but why not?
yeah.
And if you show your work, you can like very precisely see exactly where they messed up, and then you can kind of like show them, and then you can actually try to correct it and teach from it. But yeah, I don't know if those things are not placed to the same level of value. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is I feel like Koreans really want them to be fast, which I agree over time you will get faster naturally. But in my mind, I would say that's never the goal per se. It's like, you want to learn how to do it right. You want to learn the concepts behind getting the answer. And then, of course, over time, like, get the right answer and get there more quickly. Of course, that's valued. But yeah, it seems like Koreans just want people to get the right answer as fast as possible. And yeah.
I think it's reflective of. By the way, I'm also nothing close to an education expert, and I don't know how they teach it these days. But I think I resonate with that. Like the value the answer more than the process, and also the fastness, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's just reflective of Korean society and how it developed, right? It developed very fast in a very competitive environment, and there's no like room for us to think about the process. Like we just wanted the results, right? So I think it's kind of reflective in that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's just the answer that matters.
So deep, Jun. from how they teach elementary school math.
Yeah.
Uh,
빨리빨리.
by the way, this is a side note, but there's some amazing. Like I grew up with Sesame Street. That's like how I learned a lot of things after
I did
school.
too.
The amount of good there's a lot of crap on YouTube too, but the amount of amazing like high quality educational content on YouTube is absurd. It's insane. It's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, number blocks and alpha blocks might be some of my favorite, but there's a lot of other ones too.
Is Sesame Street still going on?
That I don't know.
Oh, it'd be sad if it ended.
Oh, I think I remember seeing headlines of like new, more progressive Sesame Street characters. Like, wasn't there a Korean hanbok wearing something?
Oh, there was.
Maybe
like
Disney, maybe Disney World. I don't know, Disneyland. I thought it was Sesame Street too.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah.
Oh. Who's your favorite Sesame Street character? I
I
have
don't know
two.
if I've ever been asked. Wait, what? Why don't you go first?
I have a lot. God.
I like the count. The count.
Oh, the count's
He helped
good.
count. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just the count, right?
Yeah, he
He
just
just
counts.
counted in that funny voice.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for me, Oscar the Grouch,
Mhm.
just because I resonate with his
I
personality.
like. Yeah, I was debating between Oscar
Yeah.
and then Cookie Monster.
Oh, Cookie Monster.
So good.
Okay. What is the Korean version of Sesame Street? Is there one?
Yes.
Did we talk about it before?
뽀뽀뽀.
Hmm?
There's a show called 뽀뽀뽀.
Popo? Doesn't that mean kiss
뽀뽀뽀.
kiss?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you learn math and reading from it?
I don't know exactly what they teach you there. The only thing that sticks to me is
Yeah.
the song 아빠가 출근할 때 뽀뽀뽀. You don't
Oh,
know this?
no.
This is what every Korean in my generation would just know.
No, that
Yeah.
popo?
Yeah.
Okay. I like
That's
that.
the Korean version of Sesame Street.
Or Mr. Rogers.
Or Mr. Rogers, yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
hmm
Oh, okay. Elevators.
Okay, elevators.
This is just a small thing. 2 quick notes. I this is one of those things that even after 3.5, 4 years of living here, I still get just as frustrated as day one.
Okay.
I've told you this before.
You did. And I didn't exactly
They're-
understand what they mean.
The elevators are not coordinated in any sense,
Oh.
such that it is very common when I see 3 elevators next to each other, all at the same floor, all going the same direction. And this makes your average wait time insanely long.
How would it work in the States if there's 3 elevators?
If one's going up, the other 2 will not follow. It'll go down. It's like I think
But if there's no demand going down, wouldn't it go up?
it would wait. Yeah.
Oh, it'll just wait.
Why would you send 2 elevators to the same floor?
Because it's
When-
better than just staying there,
Oh, interesting.
isn't it?
I would rather send it to somewhere where I would like predict or like I'm sure there's like some elevator algorithm out there. But just the mere fact that I see all 3 elevators going the same direction at the same time
Yeah.
drives me nuts. From the same floor too. It's just like 8 up, 8 up, 8 up. And I'm there at like 6 waiting to go down. I'm like, it's going to take 20 minutes to get on my elevator. Not a joke, 20 minutes.
Interesting.
Okay, I can think of a couple things, right? Let's say there is a ton of demand such that it overflows, right?
Yeah, so
I can
you
see
can't
that.
get on that
Yeah.
one, even if it's there.
So they want to send 2 there. That I could understand. But this also, so the other dynamic I could think of is that it's like almost an individual fairness thing. So let's say there's one person on the top floor, one person on the bottom floor. But let's say the second person to the top floor gets there before the first person on the bottom floor.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you send, in all fairness, 2 elevators to the top floor and let the third person on the bottom floor wait for both to complete their trip? Like I could think of this as a fairness thing, right?
I think it's just like dumb algorithm. Whichever
so
I think it's like whoever pushes the button first,
it just queues
it'll
up that way.
It'll react to you.
But in a country that values efficiency so much,
Yeah.
how does this not make people like go nuts?
Because I don't think they know anything different.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just it blows
And
my
I think
mind.
it also involves a lot of intelligence to understand that it is wrong.
No. What is better for the collective whole? Okay, I think if you had to pick a goal metric for elevators, right? It's like, let's say average time it takes, maybe average is wrong, but average time it takes for someone to get where they want to go, right? I would never think to optimize for like, first come, first serve type thing, or I don't know, understandability of the elevator algorithm, right? But so this doesn't drive you nuts. First of all, do you recognize that
I
this
didn't even
happens?
recognize it.
Maybe I don't know if I'm overseeing this, but I see it every time I see it. I just want to
I think it's
quit.
a person by person thing.
Yeah.
Because I personally don't really get frustrated by it, or I don't even know any better.
You might not take the elevator as much either. So I always have to take it when we have our stroller, right? It's like you can't.
I take it. I live
You
on
do
the
take.
eighth.
Okay. Oh, this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, this one maybe doesn't bother you too much. How about it like Hyundai Baekgyeong?
Oh, I rarely take the
You just
elevator.
take the escalator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You'll
it is,
rather take like eight flights up the escalator
but yeah, department store elevators are
for
notorious
taking
for
so long.
yeah,
It takes so
yeah.
long. Okay, the other thing too, what this means is that because the wait times are so long, I feel like
Yeah.
you can only get in one from the top or bottomest floor because it fills up because it takes so long for it to get there.
Yeah.
So many people are coming.
Uh-huh.
Maybe there's something to the crowdedness of elevators that makes this algorithm better in Korea. But it's so like if I'm not on the very top floor and I see all of them, going to the very bottom, I know even if I'm gonna wait, I'm not gonna get on because it's gonna be full. So I think it also breeds this thing where it's just like I'm not kidding. One time I was on like the second to top floor, and I was like, I know I'm not gonna get on the elevator; it'll be full. So I have to go up so I can come down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I can like claim my spot on the elevator.
I do that all the time. Yeah.
It feels so wrong. I get a lot, I think, nunchiba, but it's just like, well, I'm gonna get my spot on the elevator.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think there's a lot of room to improve elevator algorithms. I know one time in my previous work,
yeah.
there was an elevator that they claimed that it's like a super smart elevator.
Oh, okay.
The thing where you like have to push the the floor that you're going first
Then it
on
tells
like a
you which
centrified
elevator.
screen, and then it
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
distributes you. So they claimed that it was a smart system, but
Yeah.
it really didn't work.
Oh, really?
So on the company online
The
like
forum.
yeah,
People
forum,
just
they were
complaining.
like, "Can you just?" Because it's like a tech company, like, "Can you just open the source for us?
Yeah,
'Cause
so we can
we'll
look
fix
at
it."
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then like the elevator company, of course, it's like a safety issue,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
They
yeah.
they wouldn't open it up for you. So I do know that some people recognize it,
Yeah.
but yeah,
On the newer big buildings, like office buildings,
Yeah.
right? Like 50 floors or whatever. I've never noticed anything with the elevators that frustrate me. It actually seems very smart and
I
efficient and very fast. They don't have to wait long.
Ah.
But yeah, these, especially Baekgyeong elevators, drive me nuts. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of room to improve, especially in the recent days with like machine learning and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think they can really optimize it, like vision.
Or just use what America's been using for the last 20 years.
Maybe that's enough.
I think you're thinking like, oh, AI to predict based on how they look, what floor they're going to,
Exactly.
or how much space they're going to take up to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
be
yeah.
really advanced. No, just use what the U.S. has been doing for 20 years. Okay, the other elevator one, it was a note. It's not even elevator related, but kind of. We were at IKEA again. I think I was maybe in a bad mental state, so it really stood out to me. It was just me. I was like one of my kids left something in the car, so I was running to the car to bring it back. And then it was a family with a young kid. I would put them at 2 years old. And it was just us. It was a humongous elevator, right? Just 4 people. This family of 3 and me. And they were shushing their 2-year-old for making like the tiniest noise. Like, oh, look, shh, like you don't talk in the elevator. And it's just like, I know that that's manners here, and they're trying to teach their kid good manners. That's all great.
Yeah.
Again, it was just really sad for me. It's just like maybe I was like, I think I present very friendly and nice and open. Like I always have a smile on my face type of thing. So I don't think they had any reason to think they were bothering me. But yeah, the 2-year-old was just like talking in a very like calm, quiet manner, and you're like, shh, like no one talk in the elevator. Like just wait. It was very sad. Yeah. And I don't know why the like quietness and elevator culture. Like for me, one question I might have had is if I wasn't even there,
Mm-hmm.
would they still have done it to teach them manners,
Mm-hmm.
or are they really trying to keep their kid quiet for me? Right? Like,
I think it's a little bit of both, right?
okay.
I think they're not trying to defend them or anything, but it is common
No, no, it's
manner.
manners here to be
Yeah,
quiet on the
to be quiet
elevator.
and
So I
all.
get
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's another manner thing in Korea that you might not know. Maybe this is
Mm.
like, maybe it's not even a Korea specific thing.
Yeah.
You don't talk to someone in the bathroom.
I think that's pretty universal.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So it goes hand in hand. Like the elevator etiquette, and then
Wait, that's not hand in hand. I think the bathroom one is just because it's awkward. Like, do you know the joke, the common joke?
what
Oh,
is?
it's like you come up to, set of urinals. You come up right next to someone,
Yeah.
even if there's space,
Hmm.
and you just look at them and say, "Nice watch." But yeah, you don't talk when you're, it's kind of awkward. Yeah.
Oh, I get it now.
But sometimes I hear people like talking on their phone really loudly in the stall next to me. But I just think they're like in a rush or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they were trying to teach the kid what the proper manner is.
So if a Korean family rides an elevator and no one else is around to hear, they still try to be quiet.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Because the purpose of that manner is to think about the other people
I
on
see.
the elevators. Yeah.
So if a Korean family's together on an elevator alone,
Yeah, they
they
would
would talk.
Yeah,
But it's just whenever there's someone there, they're trying to teach their young kids, oh, you don't talk when there's other people
I think
on the
so.
elevator.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because like other people are forced to be in your conversation because you're so close by together and
Yeah.
it's so quiet in the elevator. You don't want them to do that.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my elevator topics.
Yes.
Next.
These are so good, by the way.
Okay. I'm going to talk about my Busan trip briefly. So I went to Busan few months ago, maybe many months ago now. Oh, I got into small talk with the taxi driver. So I was just going to talk about some of that. My Korean's not good, so it's awkward anyway. But he really started harping on my use of macho instead of 맞습니다. Like, that's right. Like, and then he started saying like 맞습니다 is like
The proper way
the
to say
proper way. Announcers use this still, and like macho is like Seoul language. So is that correct? Was my understanding right?
맞죠.
Oh,
Yeah.
맞습니다.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is another thing about 경상도 people. They hate it when men talk in the Seoul accent.
See, macho is Seoul, right?
It's more of a Seoul expression, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So men specifically use the Seoul language?
Yeah.
Is it
think
more
it's-
effeminate to say macho or?
I think for 경상도 people, the Seoul accent and expressions themselves are more feminine.
Oh,
So
interesting.
they hate it when men do it.
Is that generally the perception of Seoul language, that it's more feminine?
Seoul people wouldn't know because that's the
okay,
only
okay.
language that they know. But from a 경상도 perspective, it sounds very feminine.
So not modern, but feminine.
Modern. Yeah, I think it's more feminine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's too like mellow, soft.
Like I never think of like city talk versus like country talk.
Yeah.
As like gendered. It's more just like modern versus like kind of country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, they went on a long rant about that. I only understood like half of it, and then I started using 맞습니다. 네, 맞습니다. 네.
Corrected you. You don't have to say 맞습니다. You can say 맞죠.
But macho I was using as a way like that's like blah blah blah. That's right. Like questioning almost like macho like that's right.
Oh yeah, it's 100% correct.
But that's different. But 맞습니다 feels different. Is it the exact same meaning?
It isn't.
Like blah blah
So
blah.
I
like,
think
맞습니다.
I think actually you were using in the right
Oh
way.
yeah. It was almost like a
It's like
question.
that blah blah blah, right?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Macho. You can't use 맞습니다 there,
You
right?
can't use 맞습니다 there.
Okay.
Yeah, 맞습니다 is just like confirmative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. I think I was using it both ways. But you're saying it's okay, even in 경상도, to use it as the blah 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 right?
Yeah, it is still a soul expression, so some people might not like
okay.
it. But
How do 경상도 people use it? Is oh, blah blah blah, right? Like,
oh,
oh, traffic's so bad, right?
oh,
Like, oh, 길가 너무 막혔어요.
yeah, I'm trying to think.
Maybe they don't just ask.
Maybe they just don't ask.
Yeah, oh, traffic's bad.
Yeah.
They state it as fact.
Hmm.
I guess right is almost like a filler, right? It's like you're
Yeah.
engaging in conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Interesting.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, there could be, but it's not as common
Commonly
in.
used.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I feel like
yeah,
macho is all the time.
yeah,
It's just like blah blah right, and then like
yeah.
right, and you just like
Mm.
back and forth.
But I think the
Interesting.
macho itself, that kind of expression is more modern. It's
Ah,
like a modern thing.
it's not utilitarian per se.
Yeah,
It's not changing the meaning,
yeah,
but it's more engaging the other person along.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just very
Macho.
common. I think it's like
Mm.
it's just when I talk with someone, I'm always like gonna put in these. Oh, right, like don't you know? Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Did
mm,
you?
mm.
Okay, but then it's more like if he's like, oh, also crowded. I would say, oh, 맞습니다, instead of 맞죠.
I would say 그렇죠.
Oh, 그렇죠. Oh, okay,
Mm,
okay. I feel like, yeah, that was my first time experiencing
By the
the
way,
Busan taxi
yeah,
small talk.
yeah. By the way, Busan taxis are notorious for like
Small
their
talk, right?
small talk and
Uh-uh.
also their driving.
Yeah, never have more curse words been said. Yeah.
Not even Busan, but I feel that immediately when I go to Daegu.
Oh,
Like they're much more
aggressive.
tougher and
Yeah,
aggressive in
yeah.
their driving.
Crazy.
Acceleration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, in Busan, on the way to, we took the train to Busan, ha ha ha. But ironically, it really was full of like zombie types. Again, my kids were the only ones reading books.
Mm.
Not to say it's better or worse, but the culture is so different, right? I
Mhm.
think I I look forward to trains so I can like read a book, right?
Mhm.
But young and old, it wasn't that there weren't kids, but the
Mhm.
kids were all just on like gigantic iPads.
Ah,
Everyone was either sleeping or like looking at their phones.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like really sad.
Mm. Do you if you go to this is the thing that I witnessed about American culture.
Hmm.
I don't know what the culture is like very recently, but a lot of people read in the subway, right?
In the US.
In the US. And
I wouldn't say a lot,
uh,
but it's not uncommon, right? It's like you
I
see it.
always thought it's because there's no signal
Internet.
on the subway, so there's no other thing to do.
Yeah.
But even in Korea, when there were no like Wi-Fi or
Yeah,
internet,
yeah.
people just like
Slept.
slept
Yeah.
and never read. So that's a different thing.
Mm.
That's a cultural thing, I think. I want to go more into like the iPad thing.
Yeah.
I try to be very careful because I'm not a parent,
Yes.
and I know how hard it is to.
Tread with caution. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I can like partially understand why they give out iPads to the kids, especially in like restaurants when I see them,
Yeah.
because otherwise it's going to be so hard to control them.
Yeah.
But there weren't iPads 20 years ago, right?
Mhm.
And like there were ways for parents to deal with it.
Yeah.
So I wonder what your stance is, and
Yeah.
I feel like there are a lot of negative things about showing screens to kids on a
Totally,
very
yeah.
early age.
Mhm,
Yeah, yeah.
So I the screen one in particular, I don't know what the prevailing sentiment is amongst Korean parents.
Mm,
Americans universally think it's bad
mm,
and it's like a last resort.
yeah.
But parents kind of understand, but no one feels good about it.
Mm,
I don't know if Korean parents feel that level of guilt
mhm,
with giving a kid an iPad,
mm,
or if it's just so common that everyone does it. So that brings me to my first point. It's just the culture here.
mhm,
So June, even if you as a family don't want to give your kids screens,
mhm,
when you see when your kid sees every other kid with an iPad,
mhm.
it's hard for them to
Ah.
think like, oh, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
Everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
Versus if no one's doing it, right? They
Mhm.
don't even think or complain about having it.
Ah,
So it's almost like once one person has it,
mm,
like everyone wants it.
mm,
It's common saying like maybe it's similar to in school. If you're gonna bring candy, bring enough for everyone,
mm,
right? Because once one kid eats it, everyone else is gonna want it, and if they don't have it, they feel bad.
ah,
And as a teacher or as a parent, it's hard enough to kind of get your kids to listen anyway.
uh-huh.
But when the culture around you is pushing them in another direction, it makes it even harder, right?
Ah.
So that's one. But two, I actually think the bigger deal, maybe I think Korean parents don't like it either, but they feel like they have to because it's unacceptable for your kids to make noise in public. Or it's you feel so much nunchi when your kids tantruming, crying, throwing food, not eating, right? And I will tell you, there's not the easiest way to get a kid to eat is have them zone out and sneak food into their mouth, right? So I think the bigger factor is just the societal pressure for kids of all ages to not act like kids.
But you're not even teaching them to behave in that way.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not teaching them to behave. Well,
isn't that
they are behaving.
They are behaving,
but you're not teaching them how
it's
to
just the
behave.
result.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So so the result is what's important, not the process.
So Jun, you know I've gone on a rant like this before, right?
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me that kids of all ages, from birth pretty much, they're just, part of the average going out to eat is you bring your iPads for your kids, and they're just zoned out the whole time. And look, as a parent, I get it.
Yeah.
You can enjoy your meal, you can talk, the kids on their own, they're quiet, they're eating.
Yeah.
Right? But the long-term impact of this, I think, is very negative.
It feels so Black Mirror-ish.
No, really. Yeah.
But I wonder what's better, like scolding them constantly and like disciplining them to behave on their own, or like giving them an iPad so that the result is that they don't misbehave, but minus that trauma that they would get.
Well, the right answer, I think you're choosing between two negative situations.
Yeah.
The right answer is to be okay with age-appropriate behavior
Yeah.
and discipline and self-control, which 2-year-olds don't have much of, June.
Yeah.
But as a society, it almost feels like it's not acceptable for your 2-year-old to act like a 2-year-old, right? So I think that's where it's really that I understand the collectivist spirit. Okay, don't talk in elevators, right? Don't throw food, don't make noise in restaurants. I get that that's nice because you're mindful of others, but I think as a society, you have to be okay and understanding of kids acting age appropriately.
Oh, you know what? This reminds me of this viral video that was like all over the place on the internet. It's like someone, I'm pretty sure you saw it too. It's in Korea. It's like in one of those like bakery type cafes. And there's like in one of those cafes, there's like a plethora of like bread on like the counter, right?
Yeah.
And then there's this one kid who's like, cause like their height is
they're peeking over, right?
Their height is like right to the level of where the breads are.
Yeah.
And he's like licking, licking the bread. And then it went viral.
That's gross.
Because someone filmed it. It's obviously not their parents.
Yeah.
And like my colleagues were talking about it. I want to ask you how you feel about this after this, but then like they were like, how could that happen? Blah blah blah. Like they were thinking about like how could the cafes prevent this from happening? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I told them the only problem is that you're making it a problem.
Yeah.
It's like, can you just be okay with it?
Yeah,
right? Like, I'll be okay with like eating that. Like,
I don't know about that.
I mean, it'll feel weird.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say like, I wouldn't complain to the cafe saying like,
how could you let?
Yeah, how could you let this happen?
Yeah.
Right. It's like that like 원효대사 해골물 again.
What's that?
Like the skull water again. If you never knew that it happened, it's just fine, right?
Yeah.
And I think
that I agree with.
Yeah, and it's like people being so trying to find a way to be uncomfortable almost, right? So I wanted to hear your thoughts about this.
So many thoughts.
Yeah.
First of all, if I never knew that kid licked it, I would eat it just fine. I wouldn't get sick. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
I do agree. I don't want to eat it. And I think, of course, the parents ideally would watch their kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think that's not okay behavior, but at the same time you should be understanding, is my opinion.
Yeah.
I think just the outrage is probably coming from a sense of maybe, I don't know, entitlement, or just the general culture of wanting to like pile on and make other people feel bad. Like, how could they? What neglectful parents, what a bad kid, right? I think one of my favorite quotes is, I'll shout them out. I love this creator, Fit Dad CEO. He has a shirt that says, I was a good parent too before I had kids.
I see.
So I think, first of all, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but I think everyone should recognize it's easy to make judgments before you've experienced it yourself. And everyone should be open to kind of revisiting their previous assumptions or opinions.
Yeah.
after they've gone through it. And even then, every kid, every family is different. So if you have a wonderful kid who sleeps well and eats cleanly and doesn't throw food, great. You got lucky. Or, you know, maybe a part of it is your parenting. I get it. But I promise you, there are a million other situations where you have a kid who behaves completely differently and you didn't do anything different. You just have to understand every kid, every family, every situation is unique. So, yeah, I'm not going to give, you know, I'm not a master parent at all. I think I fail every day. But I will just say the only advice I ever give new parents, because they're like, oh, Daniel, you have 4 kids. Like, tell me, what should I know? I just tell them one thing. Do not judge other people for their parenting style, and do not allow yourself to be judged for your parenting style. That's the only thing I tell them. It's just like, understand, like, yes, you want to get advice, you want to seek input, you want to see what works. Understand that it might not work for you. You could do the exact same thing and your kid might do very different, you know, might have very different outcomes. And so, yeah, I think this, for that one in particular, like, I don't know what the reaction was or whatever, but it's like, yeah, it feels, again, I understand people not wanting to eat bang that's been, like, you know, touched, like licked by a kid. That's completely fine. But I hope that you don't go overboard and make assumptions like, oh, what neglectful parents, what a horrible kid. That behavior is unacceptable. Maybe we should ban kids from cafes. Like, that's just going too far, right? It happens. It was a mistake. Move on. Now, if their parents were like encouraging it or like, you know, not caring or whatever, that's a different thing. But I'm sure as soon as the parents saw it, they were like, oh, please don't do that. Oh, maybe we'll buy that so no one else has to eat it. Like, whatever.
It's probably a slightly different topic, but I wish people like lower their bars on hygiene a little bit in Korea.
Yeah.
I call it like 감성 위생. Like,
what's that?
Emotional hygiene. It's not even like really that important. But like they're thinking, people start to think it's so dirty and important, like blah blah blah.
Korea, I have found, is hyper hygienic, to an extreme.
But a lot of that isn't really that scientific either.
No, it's just a feeling of.
It's just feeling. It's like feeling. That's why I call it 감성, emotional hygiene, to make you just feel better. And doesn't really like isn't really directly related to actual hygiene. I feel like
I find myself starting to do it more. Like, there's some behavior, I think, if my kids were doing it in the US, I wouldn't care. But in Korea, I don't want them to be judged, or I don't want to like feel the nunchi. So I'm like, you know, get up or don't sit on the floor or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. It's not, once you are in the culture, you just can't help but do it. Whereas, like, you know, if we were to move to the US tomorrow, probably after a couple of days, we'd revert back to like, you can sit on the ground, no big deal.
And I think it's actually more healthy
in the long term. You
know how like how many kids these days have like allergies and what is like
asthma and breathing
like
issues.
Atopy. What's
that? Eczema.
Yeah.
One more thing on the hygiene. So I agree overall. Like people are very, very hygienic. I don't know if I've talked about this on the pod before. There's one exception I just see all the time. I feel like sometimes parents are just like, F it. Like, just, if they're going to get dirty, let them be really dirty. And that's with like public water parks or places or fountains. I just see parents letting their kids go fully clothed into this thing, getting soaking wet. And I'm just like, it's not that it's gross. It's like, I don't want to deal with that. Like, I don't want the car to get dirty. Like, how are you going to, like, do they keep towels in their cars for this situation? Do they have a change of clothes? I'm just thinking, like, logistically, how are they going to, you know, and that fountain water, it is dirty and it smells worse than regular water. It's like, what are they going to do? But they're just letting their kids go at it. A part of me loves it. I'm like, oh man, like, they're letting their kids be free. Why can't they do that all the time? It just feels like very specifically with the fountains in the summer, they're just letting fully clothed kids go in. And like, again, if you were, I don't know, I would never let them fully go in. Like, okay, take off your socks, roll up your pants. Or if like we know we're going to go play in fountains or like public water parks, bring a change of clothes, bring a swimsuit. Like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm too like anal with this. But I don't want my kids jumping and playing all in that. Not because of the playing, because of the cleanup and the aftermath. Getting in, Maybe they're just walking home. Maybe they don't have a
That's what I
car to
was
get
gonna get
into.
at. Yeah.
Maybe they just walk there.
I think the biggest hassle is to get them into the car.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Dealing with that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But most of the time they
They're
aren't.
just walking.
Yeah. Maybe that's it.
Okay, it's just a weird exception case to this, like
Uh,
hygienic culture.
yeah.
Okay.
But there's nothing dirty about it, is it? I still think it's about
Well, they
the
should be
aftermath.
drinking it, but
It's fine. Korea's water.
no, fountain water.
Wouldn't it just be like faucet water?
If it's faucet water, it's fine. I suspect it's like what they call it, non-potable.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, maybe.
I was on a mountain hike. I think I told you the water was like not for drinking, even
Mm,
though it was like on a mountain. I thought it was for drinking, but it said don't drink. This is only for hand washing or something.
interesting.
So I think there is definitely a concept of non-drinkable water.
Mm,
Okay, this next one's really quick.
hmm
Okay, Busan. Final thing in Busan. We went there to see a KBL game, a basketball game here. But yeah, June, this KBL game, so sad.
mm,
There was like 100 people, maybe. It was, it wouldn't even qualify as, let's say, like a good college gym.
hmm
Slightly bigger than a high school gym,
mm,
right? And I was like, this is the KBL? Like, what's going on?
mm,
Tickets were basically free, like less than $10.
mm,
I don't know why basketball's not more popular, well funded. I was doing a little bit of research, June.
mm,
I think to buy a KBL team, they don't go on sale very often,
mm.
but it's like $2 to $5 million.
Oh, you can buy a.
I don't think you can very easily because there's not many for sale. But also, like I think each team loses on the order of several $1 million a year.
Mm,
It's just the whole bit. I don't even know why the league exists.
mm,
And I think in my mind, it's like an extension of the big companies' marketing budgets.
yeah.
It's like, oh, we'll spend like whatever, $5 million a year
Mm,
for the marketing and brand or whatever.
mm,
But yeah, why isn't basketball a bigger deal? And like, why doesn't this feels like so ripe for like a private equity takeover?
mm,
I think if someone invests like $100 million into this thing,
mm,
it could totally turn the league around, make it valuable.
mm,
Like, there's so much they could do. And to the order of like, let's say soccer or baseball, there's no reason stopping Korea, I think, from sending, let's say, one or two players a year to the NBA draft
mm.
or to like the top college programs. So yeah, I don't know. Like, what's your take on KBL and basketball? Have you been to a game? And yeah, why isn't it becoming more of a thing? The valuation of basketball teams and leagues worldwide, it's like it's so popular globally. Like, why isn't that catching on in Korea? Especially compared to, let's say, Japan and Taiwan. Like, they're big basketball countries now. Again,
Okay.
not to the level of baseball or soccer, but bigger than what basketball is in Korea.
Mm. I don't know. It's very interesting because there was a golden age of basketball in Korea, which
Slam
was
dunk,
the
Michael Jordan.
slam dunk, Michael Jordan. Also, college basketball was very popular at one point.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And there was
Yeah.
even a drama around basketball at that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was like
Oh, I want to watch it.
the most popular drama at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And there were like superstars in like college basketball.
Interesting.
Which was like, it's like early to mid 90s.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone knew, like even I know like the top stars
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So I wonder why.
Yeah.
Why it is.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Interesting.
Actually, yeah, the few sales of teams there have been in the KBL, they peaked in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
They're like half the price now of what they were 20 years ago, which is insane to think about. Like, yeah, I don't know what's going on.
They should benchmark whatever baseball is doing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder why. I don't
Okay.
have answers to that. Sorry.
Makes me very
The
sad.
the
Yeah.
reason why I refer to the early 90s is
Uh-huh.
that there's nothing innate about the game that doesn't make people
Like it in
like
Korea.
it.
Yeah,
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 so
yeah.
I wonder why.
Okay, okay. Yeah, anyway, it's the NBA playoffs right now, June. Actually, my second team is going to play in 1 hour. It's going to start. But yeah, so it's the...
Thank you so much.
No, not that, June. It's the happiest time of the year for me, sports-wise. Actually, being in Asia is amazing because I can watch all the late night games. It's like reasonable morning games for me. Because I have time, I can watch them very leisurely. Yeah, I love it. But
by the way, one more side note about the college basketball is
Yeah.
that there was this rivalry between two universities, which is Yonsede and then Goryeo.
okay,
And that rivalry, I think, still lives on. There's like 연고전, they
Yeah,
call
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
or Korean people will call it 고연전.
Uh, put their college first.
Yeah. But it's like their culture.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love rivalries are like the greatest thing about sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could go a whole episode on famous college rivalries in the US. Yeah, but it makes me happy to hear they are. Now I want to go to one of those games, like a rivalry matchup for
Yeah.
college basketball,
Yeah.
just for the vibe
gotta be
and like
crazy.
the energy.
Yeah.
Right. I don't care necessarily about the product, the basketball, but that energy and the excitement could be fun.
Maybe we should go on like a research trip for one of the 고연전, because like
Jun, I never have high hopes for anything popular in Korea. I always feel like it's impossible to get tickets.
but the reason why I think that we can get into it, I doubt that we can get into the game,
Yeah.
but the whole atmosphere of that college area
Just
is
being around
crazy.
the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never been to one either. I
That'd be
always wanted to.
Okay, let's try.
Yeah.
But again, Coldplay is in. Is it Coldplay?
Yeah,
Coldplay, right?
Yeah.
Coldplay's performing in Korea right now.
Yeah.
When I first heard it, I was like, yes, and then immediately, like 2 seconds later, I was like, oh, it's gonna be impossible to go.
Oh, it's actually not.
What?
Because they're performing for like whatever so long.
You can get tickets?
They're performing for like 6-7 days.
That's my mentality in Korea. If it's a popular, thing, I just give up. It's impossible.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
But I heard that they added like 2 more days. So
Okay.
it's probably, I didn't know you like Coldplay.
I think I've seen them twice before. Yeah, I like. They're good. They're no U2, but
Yeah. Oh, they're not.
they're U2's S. Coldplay's like S but minus. Yeah.
Really?
I think they're S tier. Yeah.
Cool. I feel like a lot of these pop bands,
Yeah.
when their popularity's down,
Yeah.
they go
Go
on
to
an Asian tour. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to go to the Coldplay because they're
you never
past their
came at
peak.
your peak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that true? They never came at their peak. Yeah.
I don't think. Oh, they did once. Which was the last time. But this one, I feel like it's one of those things.
Their farewell.
But they're very good with like their chemistry is very good with Korean audience. I feel like.
Oh really?
Yeah, because Korean audience are known to be like very responsive and energetic
Oh.
in their concerts.
I thought Korean audiences are known to be very kind of polite and reserved.
No, not at all. They're like crazy. That's the Japanese.
Okay.
Japanese people like sit there very quietly.
I mean, my wife went to a K-pop concert.
Yeah.
And she said it's much crazier in the U.S.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. But they have this culture called daechang, where they would like sing everything along in unison
Oh, good. Okay.
as everything.
That's how it should be at a concert.
Yeah. Oh, you should go to a Coldplay concert. I don't think it's gonna be. Oh,
I think it's over or like they're ending. No?
we should check.
Okay. This next one will be very quick. I was at not my kids' international school, but another one, and there was a map of the globe, right? A 2D map, and I was so confused at first. I was literally confused. Do you know why?
Because it's not America centric.
It showed Asia in the middle,
Yeah.
not to the far east or far right. I was like, it really took me like, I don't know, 5 seconds. I was like, wait, because South America is where Africa should be. Africa is where South America should be. Like, that's the world.
Yeah.
Asia's in the middle.
Yeah.
Or Asia's, it's not to the far right. Anyway, it blew my mind. So I don't know. What's the natural way for you to look at a map? And where is Korea located in that map?
In the center.
In the middle, right?
Yeah.
It's so different.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that is very interesting.
Yeah, it was very confusing.
So it wasn't a globe, it was a map.
Yeah, it was a map, a 2D map.
It's a 2D map.
So confusing. Okay, but yeah, that I was like, obviously, why wouldn't Korea be in the middle in a Korean map or in a map in Korea? But I'm just so used to looking at a map. North America's to the left, Europe's in the middle, and in my mind, I'm justifying it like,
Oh, they put Europe in the middle.
Yeah, Europe's in the middle.
Even for the maps in the States.
Now I'm trying to think.
That is very interesting.
I don't think I've ever, like, my picture of the global map is like North America to the left, Europe in the middle, and Asia to the right.
That one's more interesting to me because I would think naturally in the US they would put the US in the middle.
So this is how I justify it. The Pacific Ocean is the biggest ocean, and like it's just ocean, right?
Yeah.
So it's not interesting on a map. So they don't actually show it on the maps I'm used to seeing per se. It's like kind of hidden on the sides or cut off. So like the land, it makes sense kind of logically to lay it out the way I'm used to seeing it. But again, that might be like
Eurocentric thinking.
it is a Eurocentric
Yeah.
thinking. But anyway.
Oh wow, interesting. That's probably how the first map was drawn out, right? Because
The first map that we know of, right?
okay,
At
okay.
least growing up in the US, being a colony of UK or Europe, a European colony, right, it kind of makes sense that Americans also think a bit Eurocentric.
Yeah,
But yeah, anyway, so I thought that was fun. It really stood out to me
it's
when I saw that.
interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, June, would Koreans know that that's why maybe Asians get offended at the term Oriental? It means Easterner, right? It's a Eurocentric way of thinking. I don't know.
Oriental.
Yeah.
I don't think that word is common enough
Ah.
for Koreans to actually understand what it means.
Okay.
Yeah, Oriental. The only time that Koreans hear that word,
Monopoly?
monopoly.
There's an Oriental Avenue, I think. That's where I thought you were going to. Sorry.
Is there? No, no, there isn't.
Is there not?
No, there's no
Monopoly?
Oriental.
Isn't it the light blue?
Park Avenue, maybe.
What? Wait, am I wrong? No, yeah, there's an Oriental Ave. It's
There's
the
an
light blue. I was
Oriental
right.
Avenue.
I was
By
right.
the way, Korean people don't play Monopoly.
What?
There's a Korean version
Oh.
called Blue Marble.
Is it the exact same game rebranded?
I think it's just a rip-off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, the only time that Koreans hear the word Oriental
Yeah.
is for dressing.
Asian style dressing.
Oriental.
Ah, okay.
Oriental dressing.
No. Oriental. I also, to be frank, I don't quite get the nuances.
I don't
Because
even...
we call like, Korea, Japan, China, whatever is like like East Asia.
Yeah.
Or like, Far East is,
Yeah.
I don't think offensive, but
Yeah.
Oriental is. I don't know the entire history behind it, but yeah.
So I don't even know what the connotation of like calling an Asian person Oriental is. So I don't get offended because I don't even know.
Yeah.
I found it very fascinating because when I was listening to this podcast called Serial,
Uh-huh.
it's around like this Korean
Oh,
American
yeah.
kid, right?
That's crazy.
Like they go interviewing.
That's
around,
my
like
home state, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Baltimore.
Oh,
It's like an hour from where I grew
yeah.
up. Yeah.
They depict it as such an eerie place, right?
Baltimore is.
Yeah.
Parts of it, yeah.
Anyways, like they're interviewing around like these witnesses or like people who are related to the crime.
Yeah.
And like this one, I'm sure it's a white person, even though I'm just like listening to their voice. There was this Oriental kid in the shopping mall or whatever.
I think it was okay and common to say in the 80s and
Yeah.
90s,
Well,
but
how's
then
that-
I think it became
Yeah.
offensive, yeah.
Why is that offensive?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, again, sorry, I might be missing context here, but just calling someone an Easterner or like you're from the East reflects, again, a Eurocentric mindset. And so it's like, wait, who are you to determine that Europe's the center of the world, right? Or center of the globe?
Oh, does Oriental mean
Yes,
East?
yeah, it means
oh,
Easterner.
It means,
Yeah.
I did. Oh, TIL.
But that's the thing. We say like Far East or East
Yeah.
Asia, and like that's okay, I think. Oriental. Yeah, it means Eastern. Yeah.
But it's kind of tricky because Korea and Japan are also on the east of Asia as a continent,
Yeah.
like on the Far East.
Okay, more quick hits, June. I had what was officially diagnosed as trigger finger, so I went to Tuntun Byungwon. Is that right? Ortho doctor.
Oh,
How would you say ortho?
정형외과. I think Tuntun was just their brand name. Because Tuntun means like healthy.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. I've been referring to Tuntun Byungwon as like an ortho clinic.
No.
Okay, that's embarrassing.
It's that specific.
Because I also thought Tuntun meant strong.
Yeah. It's just their brand.
It's really humiliating. Okay, so I went to an ortho doctor. And again, like it was to the point where I couldn't even make a fist. It was pretty bad. And I'd say when I forced myself to make a fist, I would say the standard thing is like, oh, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad's the pain? I call it a 7. So like pretty bad, but not like I'm not screaming in pain.
Yeah.
But it is painful. And anyway, like I see the doctor. He literally they did take x-rays. But he literally did not touch my hand to diagnose me. Normally, they're trying to isolate the pain. Oh, does this hurt? does this hurt more or less, like palpate, like all sorts of things, right? Like how can you diagnose an orthopedic injury without touching or ask me to put it in different positions? Like he literally spent like a minute, not even a minute, 30 seconds diagnosing me. And he was like moving on to treatment. Okay, we're going to give you a cortisoid injection. We're going to do, you know, some ICT therapy and some other therapy and like whatever. But I was just shocked by the fact that he didn't even touch my hand. Is that, would you be shocked by that? Or would that be a normal interaction for your like first visit to an ortho clinic?
I would say both. I wouldn't be shocked
Uh-huh.
because it happens all the time.
I see.
But I always come out of the hospital thinking like, why didn't you even ask me this? Why didn't you even ask me that? Or like, even when they're prescribing me with things, sometimes they don't even tell me what it is.
Just like take this, yeah.
Or like, don't ask me what other drugs that I'm taking, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the job of the yakguk, the pharmacy, right?
That's the job of ChatGPT these days. It's so good. But I resonate with you. I think it's like, I don't know why. It's like, it might offend a lot of doctors, but doctors have a very specific attitude in Korea. And that's why I think there was like this public sentiment around like all this like doctor thing.
Yeah.
I might be canceled again. But I do stand by the point where, okay, most of my families are doctors. I think I can say this.
Dude, that's the equivalent of like, I have a black friend too.
Okay. Let's cut this whole part out. But they do have an attitude.
Yeah.
Very arrogant.
Yeah.
And
but this doctor wasn't arrogant. I just thought he was neglectful. Right? Like, why? Like, how can you diagnose something like
isn't
this?
that also arrogance though? Because like, I don't even have to touch your hand to diagnose this.
See, I was wondering if it was something else. Like, I think there was some controversy, let's say in the 90s, Korean like convenience stores in the US, Korean run stores, when they gave people their change, they would leave it on the counter and push it. And like people are like, oh, what, you don't want to touch me? Like I'm dirty or something? Like why can't you put it in my hand? And I thought there might be like a cultural thing here where like they don't want to touch me. Like people don't want the doctor to touch them. I don't know.
I don't think that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just shocking to me that you would try to diagnose like something like this without touching. And I was trying to tell him like, oh, 여기 아파, 여기 만지면 안 아파요, 여기 제일 심하고. I was just trying to tell him things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a language thing too. I was like, oh, he would be fine with the Korean patient because you're English speaking. I don't know. He's afraid of getting sued. I don't know, right?
What
like,
was the diagnosis, by the way?
Trigger finger.
Is what he diagnosed you?
Yeah.
Oh, what's it called in Korean?
Oh, I don't know. But I think it's correct. I think it was the right diagnosis, right? So who am I to complain in a sense?
Maybe it's so common that he didn't even have to.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But he didn't ask anything. Maybe it was a language thing. He was like, oh, how are you like doing this? Do you do that? And anyway, this will bleed into my next story, June.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been meeting people in the neighborhood that are Korean, English, have some English exposure, let's say, but quite friendly. Yeah.
Oh. It's a good thing.
So yeah. I was
who is this person?
Yeah, I am at the bus stop dropping off our third kid at her Yuchiwan. And actually it's still kind of early in the school year, right? I think the Korean school year starts in March?
Yeah.
Right. So it's still early. There's a new girl at my kid's bus stop. Normally she's the only one, which actually makes it a little stressful. Like,
not even with her parents?
Oh, no, sorry. For the last year, I've been the only one consistently at the bus stop. And so what makes it stressful is like, if let's say I'm right on time, oh, did the bus come and leave? Are we late? Right? It's just stressful when you're the only one, right? But thankfully this year, there's another girl going to the same Yuchuan. She's younger, 2 years younger than mine. But yeah, typically it's the mom. We're like polite, insa, but that's it. But yeah, one day it was the dad. And so I was like, oh, like, I'm not going to say their name, but like, blah, blah, mama, like, appa, yo, and like we talk. And then I don't know, I think maybe the mom had told him that the other person at the bus stop is English speaking, or maybe he just picked up on his own. And he was like, oh, like, are you from America? I heard you speak English with your daughter. And then like he says, oh, I spent some time in the US. And then we transition into like Konglish, or his English is actually quite good. And so I find out he's a doctor. And like, to your point, I'm like, oh, 대단해요, 너무 멋있어요. Like he's like soaking it up. And then I find out he's a ortho doctor. Yeah.
튼튼 doctor.
I did say that. But he seemed to, but also 튼튼 병원 or orthopedic. Maybe he understood the English.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If anything, he didn't make me feel bad for my for saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he immediately is like, "Oh, show me," like, and he touches like exactly what I'd expect an ortho doctor to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a difference too between like clinic doctors versus big hospital doctors. Not that I know he's a big hospital doctor, but his approach, or maybe it's like a more friendly interaction versus like in a clinic. But his approach was exactly what I would expect. So I know doctors are capable of this in Korea, but they don't do it. But he's like telling me, and he's like, "Oh, trigger finger." Like then he was asking me all the follow up questions, like how do you think you got it? Like have you been doing this? Oh, golf. You've been like playing a lot of golf suddenly. Like maybe that's it. You have to. And then by the way, he goes on like another 10-minute story because he's like apparently a scratch golfer or single handy. They call it single handicap. Very good golfer.
Oh, okay.
He's like, oh, maybe I can like we live in the same apartment, Danji. Like I can go watch you and give you tips. But yeah, if you don't fix the grip, it's gonna keep coming back. All sorts of stuff.
Oh, so nice.
But very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually exchanged. I don't know if it's okay to ask for 연락처. Is that right?
연락처?
It's not 초. It's 차.
처.
초.
Yeah.
연락처.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I pronounce it 초, but they get my meaning. Is it okay, by the way, to ask for that on a first meeting? If you feel like you're
after
vibing?
that kind of interaction,
It'd be okay?
It'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, I get his number and like we just, we talked and we haven't met up yet, but he's very friendly.
So
and
nice.
he moved to the apartment recently. And so he even said like, "Oh, like I just moved here and I already made a friend. It feels so nice."
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if it's like the fact that he is a little older, but he, spent time in the US, converses in English, but maybe he's just more open and friendly in general, right? So it was very encouraging just to have that interaction.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so nice.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, even if we never meet up, it's like when I see him, welcoming, we smile, we can have small talk. Just so nice. That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah. We should have it on the pod.
That would be great, actually.
Around like small talk and stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, I sent you like that.
What?
There's this TikToker or I think Instagram influencer who like tries to small talk in Korea. The reactions are priceless.
So funny. But I felt like that was for social media, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was staged.
Like that harmony was like, do I know you? So confused.
So good.
I think the exact words were like, I don't think we've met before.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was one interaction. That was very positive.
So nice.
But yeah, that same dad, we were talking about golf, how he was super obsessed and into golf before, but he said he doesn't play anymore. And I was like, why? And he said, well, now that I have a daughter, I just want to spend more time with her.
Oh.
And if I just keep golfing, I'm not going to have as much time. So that made me feel very like, oh, like we're like-minded and kind of like, again, not your stereotypical dad, even though I know that would offend people in Korea, where it's just like mom does entirety of the child rearing, etc. So yeah, I feel like we could get along.
Sounds like a nice person.
I really hope that we can spend more time.
But why was he at the bus stop that day? Versus
he just said he had a day off. Yeah.
Oh, day off. Okay.
Yeah, I think I won over some brownie points because that, anytime someone's transitioning schools, again, age appropriately, their daughter was very like kind of sad after the bus, like very crying or whatever. Very crying. So Korean. Crying a lot. And then, the mom had to hold her but she has the kid's scooter too. So I know it's hard to like carry and hold the scooter. So I was carrying their scooter home for them. And she was like, no, don't. And I was like, it's fine. I know where you live. I'll just drop it off. But I think I won over some like brownie points with the family by doing that. Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard the term brownie points.
Oh, brownie points. Yeah. Just like favorable perception. Okay. And then the other friendly interaction in the danji, Jun, as you know, I do yoga with the moms. But partially because of the podcast, I go to the second class on Mondays. And there's like a new instructor. She brings tea, which I know she doesn't have to do. It's like super nice and friendly. But then, all the, the participants, I was going to say, 아줌마들, all the participants like drink tea after the second class because there's no class after.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like very leisurely chit-chatting.
Suda time.
Suda time?
Suda.
What's that? Coffee time?
Oh yeah, chit chat.
Gossip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So they're all talking, and anyway, like they're asking. It comes out that I'm married, I have kids. Like some of the people are like, "Oh, I thought you were single. Like, why is a
Oh.
single guy here?" Again, they're all older. They're like
Yeah.
mother or even grandmother figures.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, one of them was like, "Oh, like where did you live in California? Because I live there too." And then, oh, my two kids are actually in the U.S. going to college,
Mm.
right? So even after that interaction, like that day, I didn't get her contact information, but the next time I saw her between classes, I like asked for her phone number,
Mm.
and so I have her info too. And she was like, I was like, oh, if maybe me and my wife could meet you and your husband sometime. That'd be great because your kids are a little older. I think we could learn a lot from you.
Mm.
And she was like, oh yeah, and, my husband's even better at English than I am, so it'd be great. And that whole conversation was in Korean. We never got to the point where we switched to English. But yeah, I just want to bring up like feels like a very good, I guess, perspective shift because of these very positive interactions with very Korean, older Korean people in the neighborhood. But yeah, not everyone is like the 할머니,
Armini. Yeah.
the mean 할머니 from the screen golf place. Yeah.
I wonder if like, oh, by the way, I'm happy that you're meeting these like very nice Korean people, which I knew that existed. I also think that maybe it's about time. Maybe it's like
Spring.
like
Oh.
probability wise, like it's about time that you meet these people now.
I mean, I've been here so long. I haven't met them before.
I mean, the probabilities might be
I see.
not
I see.
high,
Yeah.
but it's about time that you meet
okay,
these
okay.
people. So good.
I can contrast it to another reaction where I don't know. I think it's a me thing.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I was helping my daughter to learn the bike. There was another. My youngest goes to the community 어린이집. So there was another younger man, I'd say younger than me, picking up his son, and I recognized them. And actually, they're in the same class as my daughter. But yeah, I didn't know that. So they were like scootering around, and he started speaking English with his son. I think it might have been because he heard me speaking English, so he wanted to show that he could speak English.
Yeah.
And so anyway, awkwardly, we're like kind of with our kids side by side, and like eventually, I just asked, 영어 잘하시네요. 혹시 미국에 살았어요?
Oh, you still speak to little kids?
No, to the dad.
Oh, it's a dad. Sorry.
And then he was like, he responds in perfect English.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm not a Gyopo. Like, are you a Gyopo? I was like, yeah, I moved 3 years ago. He was like, but I lived in the States, kind of ambiguously. I think he's privileged, right? But yeah, so he speaks perfect English. But then I think as soon as I found out he wasn't a Gyopo per se, it's like it just shifts for whatever reason. And then it becomes very formal, very polite. And like within like 2 minutes, he's like, oh, like I'm just gonna go over there. It's nice to meet you. He doesn't leave though. He's on the same playground talking with one of the Korean parents, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Which is like for me a little awkward. He's almost like saying bye and then staying.
Yeah.
Right. But it's just a total different shift, I think. Yeah, so.
I think I kind of resonate with that behavior.
Yeah.
And it's coming from a place where I don't know if this person really is enjoying
my company.
this
Yeah,
company.
yeah.
So I'm just gonna,
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, once we realize there's not too much to talk about in common, even though our kids are in the exact same class,
yeah.
I can get that, like awkward, like so. To be clear, I think they were very nice and polite.
Yeah.
Would love to like continue talking to them in the future. I know our kids are friends, but just I guess the contrast to that reaction or that interaction, contrasting that interaction to the other ones was very different. Where I felt very like warm and welcome. So anyway, at the end of the day, I think it's just like case by case, person by person. But yeah, it's. I will still say anytime I hear native English, I have to say hi. It's like a compulsion.
Yeah.
Okay. The other observation I had, June, final one for this episode. I feel like there is a very strong entrepreneurial spirit in Korea, and specifically, I'd say amongst maybe the expat community, but maybe not. I don't know if that's true. I just assume anyone I come in contact with, even like friend of friend. No, that's not true. Sorry, I'll just say unequivocally maybe, and I want to see if this is my biased set of connections. there's like a very strong entrepreneurial spirit in Korea.
Amongst expats, you say? Or
Definitely amongst expats, but I wonder if it's just more ubiquitous in Korea. Like the idea of starting a venture or starting something small and like trying to do like a consumer packaged good or whatever, it just feels very high. Whereas I think very specifically in the like second gen Asian American community, that entrepreneurial spirit was not there as much growing up. And even now, I think I'm starting to see it happen more and more as people get older, maybe more established, and have like the time and energy and money, quite frankly, to do like a side gig, a side hustle. But you know, at least for me growing up, it's just like you went to school, you studied hard, you went to college, you got a job, and you just worked the white collar job, right? Whereas like starting a business or venture seemed like so risky or didn't seem like something you could do successfully.
Yeah.
Or at least it wasn't encouraged, right? But here it's just like, you know, friend of a friend has like a healthy kids, natural like popsicle dessert company. Another friend of a friend is like aspiring to be a like a yoga instructor or whatever. It just feels like everyone is thinking or hustling or coming up with ways to be entrepreneurial. Again, which I love. And was a bit surprising to me because I thought Korea overall was very risk averse. But I think in this regard, it feels like it's very live and present and healthy. So I don't know if this resonates with you. Or even like, you know, the guy who we played poker with before. You know, he's starting like I told you a pet shampoo business, right? I don't know. Even this podcast, I will say, I never would have thought to start it in the US. I don't know why. It just wouldn't occur to me that you could just start something. Yeah, that entrepreneurial spirit I feel like exists in Korea is very counter to, again, I think the overall risk averse society I've like come to think Korea is. So I just don't know how, I don't know if I'm off. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I just want to see if there is something interesting there.
And most of these people have their main jobs and doing things as side hustles, or are they just doing it as
Good
a
question.
yeah,
I do think it's, I don't know, seems 50-50, to be honest.
50-50?
I will say maybe it skews more towards the moms.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe they left the workforce to like raise kids.
yeah.
And now that their kids are older, they're trying to still go back to work, but they don't want to go back to like a full-time job. Maybe that's it. Yeah. Anyway, do you feel like amongst your friends there's like a very entrepreneurial spirit?
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know a lot of people who actually acted on it, but it's like a very common thing to say, like, oh, you should make it into a business. And there are like certain people who actually do make it into a business.
Yeah.
For instance, I know one of my former colleagues, she started, so she recently had a baby, and she started like this allergy test kit business for children.
Oh, really?
Have like these little samples
Oh, I
for
really
to
want
like
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
to like I don't know if you feed it or like put it on their skin
Yeah.
to like test very basic.
It's like an at-home allergy test.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I really
She
want
started
that.
something
Yeah.
like that. And also I think it's a you might be a little bit biased in your demographics because you tend to meet more of those people who are probably you meet them at like work hours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you
They're not at their white
yeah,
collar job.
naturally like tend to meet more
Yeah,
people who are
yeah.
not in their like regular 9 to 5. It's actually 9 to 6 in Korea jobs, and but there are also a lot of opportunities that are
Yeah.
easier for them to open up their business because of like these online platforms like Naver Smart Store, or like there are so many
That's true.
platforms
Yeah.
to start things very easily. So I think all of that equates to what you're observing.
But isn't it very you would classify Korean society overall as more risk averse, right?
It's risk averse, but also kind of like there's like you know how people were so into bitcoins and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's like we call it 한방, like you want to make it at what like one swing kind
I
of.
see, I see.
So there is that kind of spirit.
So opportunistic though. Like they're
Yes.
risk averse, but when the right opportunity comes along, they're willing to go for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
But is it just something you grow up thinking? So the things I'm bringing up here, I think as a immigrant community, you feel okay. This is the weird part. I'd say as an immigrant growing up in the U.S., I never felt like that was like a clear path to success for me, and I don't know why that is. I didn't feel like empowered to be a business person. Business people or white, right? And at least that's part of the thinking for me.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not in the immigrant culture in America, at least for Asian American immigrants.
I see.
Which is also weird because a lot of even educated Koreans went over and started blue collar jobs, right? Like laundromats or whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't require language, whatever, and it was just hard work. And that was all that they could do, even if they did have degrees and were educated, right? So I just always found that a bit weird. It's like, well, they came here, did blue collar jobs, but they didn't want their kids to do it either. Maybe that's it. Is there an association with like working blue collar being a bad thing in Korea? Like having your own small business, is that negative compared to working at Samsung?
It's interesting because I never associated blue collar with having running your own business. Blue collar is more like factory worker type of job.
Agreed. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But also, I think running your own restaurant, running your own business, that is very manual labor, very time intensive,
Yeah.
time away from kids, right? So I think you are right. More traditionally, blue collar is seen as just like working for someone else in one
Yeah.
of those jobs.
Yeah.
But I think even being the owner in one of those positions is not easy. Yeah.
I think people recognize that it is not easy and it's very risky to go to that path.
Yeah.
And I think I can't speak for immigrant, like first gen immigrants, but what I can imagine is that they want to get more integrated into the society, I guess, and their children. And I think in an older generation mind, like that, like getting integrated and fully into that society is to get employed to a good job,
I see.
like working regular hours, kind of, rather than like doing like a hustle, like opening up your own business, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be similar here though that I don't know, if you start a restaurant, is that seen as like what's the general perception of that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're trying to make it work, or it's like, oh, is it like less favorable than going to work for a big company?
I don't think it's more or less favorable. It's just that people recognize it as a different path.
Yeah.
A path that is very rocky.
Less stable,
Yeah.
riskier,
And
harder
they're
work.
willing to take that kind of.
I see,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, see, I think that's it because it makes sense, right? It's like Koreans aren't an immigrant population in Korea, right? And so why would you don't feel held back, or there's no reason why you shouldn't feel like you can start a venture and be successful in it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you and your peers think that way though? It's like, are you constantly thinking about or willing to maybe take a risk on like a venture or side hustle, do something entrepreneurial?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, right? I don't know. I will say it's very different from I think how I grew up, and also in general, maybe this is wrong, but at least my perception is the general, let's say, East Asian second gen population. It doesn't feel like that was ever something that was held up as like
I see.
even a good thing, right? Being entrepreneurial. I never heard that. It's similar to Korea, right? Doctor, lawyer, whatever. That's what you want to be.
Yeah.
Engineer.
Yeah. I think people have an instinct, regardless of whether it's an individual society or a collective society, they have an instinct to be autonomous. And I think being employed in a large company, having a regular job means that it restricts a lot of your autonomy and freedom.
Yeah.
And I think everyone just like has an urge they aspire to have more autonomy and freedom generally. Maybe it just comes from like one bad day at work and I just want to quit and like I just want to start my own business.
Yeah.
They always have it in their spirits, I think.
Yeah.
One day I'm just gonna do whatever I want, kind of have more like live more free spirited. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll there's so many examples I could bring up. I'll just say I think as a second gen, Asian American now raising third gen kids. I know we are in Korea right now, but yeah, I was gonna say I almost feel like I'm raising my kids like white parents would raise their kids.
Which is
you don't have to pursue like one of these three paths, doctor, lawyer, engineer, right? You don't even have to be successful. I want you to be successful, but I want you to be successful if you want to be successful, or like find your path through life that makes you happy, or find something that you really are passionate about and motivated about, right? And even with work, just find something that's like meaningful for you to do.
Mm.
And especially actually like really preaching, like trying to help my kids think kind of entrepreneurially themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think like that's something I'm trying to teach them that I wasn't taught any of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Explicitly or implicitly. In fact, unspoken, it was always the opposite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just it's I guess I'm just trying to think of things as like I feel like it's a very immigrant mentality, second gen immigrant mentality in the US
Mm-hmm.
that of course wouldn't apply in Korea because, you know, Koreans aren't immigrants here.
Mm.
But wondering if there's anything culturally about America, and if anything, America is the land of opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to pick any country in the world to start a company, it probably should be in America, right? Whereas Korea, I don't know if that's as true.
Yeah.
And yet I still see this very like entrepreneurial spirit in Korea
Mm-hmm.
that I really love. And I'm wondering if that's just like American influence or if it actually exists with like the Korean population.
Mm.
Yeah.
I wonder, would you still be the same as in your parenting?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like partially the way that you raise your children
Mm-hmm.
is because you have trust in them.
Trust in them.
Yeah. Like they wouldn't fail that hard, so you can do whatever you
Ah.
want. But if you felt like, let's say, like hypothetically, one of your children,
Yeah.
you're like sure that they're gonna fail
Yeah.
miserably,
Yeah.
would you be the same? Like you could do whatever?
Yeah, to be quite frank, I wouldn't say I have trust in their ability to succeed. Yeah.
But like not fail so tragically.
I see. I think what you're getting at least I'll agree to this.
Mhm.
They have a safety net that I feel like I
Yeah, that's what I was
didn't.
also trying to get
The
at.
thing is, I did have a safety net. My parents wouldn't give it to me. I feel like I will, maybe what I'm getting at is I will provide a safety net for my kids
Mhm.
that I never felt like I had.
Mhm.
So it's okay for them to try and fail.
Mm.
Whereas I never felt like failure was acceptable or an option. So
I see.
I don't know if that's a generational shift in parenting, if it's a cultural shift in parenting. But, you know, my parents are, you know, overall well off enough, let's say, that they, you know, I could have had a safety net. They never would have given it to me. So I think I never would have expected, nor, yeah, I don't think they would have given it. They would have let me fail colossally, in a sense. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like let's say you wanted to start a venture or be entrepreneurial and like take a non-traditional path, how supportive would your parents be?
Again, it goes back to the second child thing. My parents would say like, do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Sometimes when I like quit my job or like switch my job,
Yeah.
it's like the very last thing that comes to mind. Oh, I should tell my parents. Because I know in my mind that they wouldn't care.
I see.
I mean, they would say differently, but I like at
so
least
you're not
what I feel.
you're not avoiding telling them for fear of worrying them or anything.
Not at all.
You just don't even think about sharing
Yeah.
that with them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do whatever I want.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. My dad has a very opposite reaction still.
Ah.
Yeah. Every day he's concerned
Concern.
that I'm not working.
Mhm.
And I think he makes it.
Sorry. Do you ever ask why?
I think I don't need to ask. I know.
Mm.
I think he sees it as such a waste.
Waste
Yeah.
of your life.
My life and my time and my education and my resources and yeah.
Mm.
I think you know he there's only a handful of things that he repeats in his life to me that stand out. I think I've shared some of them on this pod, but one of them is like, you know, be a meaningful contributor to society. He would always say that. Like, just do something good, be a functioning, meaningful, positive contributor to society.
Every time, like every moment of your life.
I would say, I mean, it's not like every day he told me this, but again, it's one of the handful of phrases he would repeat to me. So if I had to like put a time to it, once a month, I don't know, something like that. I hope you grow up to be this, right? So I just think that's, you know, it is a bit collectivist in a sense.
I
Like,
see.
you should do something good for the greater whole, right? I think it reflects his upbringing. The other story he always shared, again, he grew up in post-war Korea, always hungry, didn't have any resources, right? He shares one story all the time. He had to petition the government to basically get a subscription to some science journal. Because back then the government was so poor, he said,
Yeah.
that schools couldn't just buy it. You had to formally request it, and it had to be approved. Even like whatever, let's say $20 a year subscription to some science journal. And he said, I had to do that just to get access to a science journal to read.
Yeah.
And so I think that, like, of course, you don't grow up that way and not have it influence who you are. But I think at least for him, and maybe I would say his generation, I would assume, I think Koreans who grew up here maybe changed their thinking over time. But for that generation who left Korea and is like that time capsule of Korea, I think he just thinks it's such a waste. Like, not just purely monetarily. You spent how much on your college education? You're able to make this much money. You're able to work. You can do this. Why aren't you doing it? I think for him is such a, not only foreign, but I'll say I think he thinks it's negative. Like, why are you wasting your life type of thing, right? So,
like, that's like number one thing. If I ever had kids, I would raise them differently because I had a similar upbringing, and I think it's like common for most Koreans, or like at least in my generation.
Yeah.
And I think still there's a part that haunts me. Like I think this was off record. I share with you like the common dream that I have
Yeah.
is
So are you sharing this for the pod?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Recognizing that it's graduation day of college, and then realizing that I haven't took a class that would qualify me to graduate.
Yeah.
Because I think it partially is because my parents kept on telling me, if you could have done this at certain time, then you would have been something, right? Like it's like squeezing the most optimal, like optimizing everything to like every single bit, to the point where even now, when I'm like moving around the house, I'm thinking about optimization.
Yeah.
Like I should like take this like so that I have like an optimal route.
Yeah.
I hate myself for doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like it. I have a pride in it.
I mean,
I was raised the same way, of course. Yeah.
like that sense of like it's wasteful and like you could have done something.
Yeah.
It never gives you a peace in mind, because every single moment in your life, it's a moment where I could have done something moment.
Yeah.
So like you constantly think of like, how can I optimize this moment, which is just like kind of very stressful every time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Am I stressed? I would say, June, you're reflecting a very typical, like, in America, like millennial Gen Z mindset.
Oh, the part that I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just like, is this stressful? I also am constantly thinking of, is this the most efficient? Could I do better?
Yeah.
But
It's
I
just
feel a
always
sense of
looking at it's always looking at the future.
the future. Yeah.
Which you can never achieve
I agree with that.
satisfaction, right?
Maybe I've learned to compartmentalize. Like, I feel a sense of unease if I'm not optimally maximizing or making everything efficient.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I also at the same time hate that this is
You
like
have to think
wired
that
in
way.
me.
Yeah.
And I also, as a person who's working at like a somewhat creative field, I feel like
That's
having
true.
nothing to do is one of the big sources of creativity.
Very important.
And I feel like I'm using so much energy like in my daily life to try to optimize things, which is like kind of counter to creativity.
Yeah. I think Koreans really love optimizing efficiency, etc. I think it's hard to be a creative in Korea. Interesting. But is there anything culturally, how do we get here again? Oh, entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah. Because, like, did you feel okay? Like, it would have been okay to fail or to try something, take a different path, let's say. Okay.
Want to wrap?
Yeah, let's wrap up. Okay. That's it for this episode on daily life. I don't know when the next one will be, Jin, because this is...
I love daily life.
But this is many, many months. I want to say this is like 6 months worth of daily life. Although really this was really just the last 3-4 months. So yeah, I don't know when the next one will be, but anytime when something comes out or stands out, I write it down. And once that list gets long enough to fill an episode, we talk about it. So
Awesome.
okay. Let's wrap. All right. As always, if you'd like to support our podcast, you please share us with someone who you think would enjoy our content. Beyond that, you can support us financially through Patreon. With Patreon membership, you get access to our Discord, where you can engage with other listeners, give us feedback on our episodes, and also propose future episode topics. Since last recording, we have 2 new Patreons. First, Bernice.
Thank you, Bernice.
And second, Jaehoon. Thank you, Jaehoon.
Thank you, Jaehoon.
All right. That's it for this week. See you next week. Bye.
Bye. Did you see the comment on our?
Oh, SpongeBob?
Yeah. I never watched SpongeBob.
I had to Google who Doongie was or whatever.
Me too. I was like, who's Doongie? And then
I don't even know their name.
Yeah.
My friend commented on it. I felt betrayed because my friend was like, "Ha ha ha! This is the funniest thing ever." I don't get it though. It's just the color. I think the color is
spot on.
Spot on. Yeah, I agree with that. But hey everyone, it's Daniel.
And I'm Jun.
Wow, I didn't pause that. It was weird.
What?
I usually go, "Hey everyone," pause. It's Daniel. I'm Daniel. I say I'm Daniel.
Oh,
what's going on today? That was weird.
Well,
that felt normal too.
I didn't even realize.
Oh, I feel weird. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey everyone, this is Daniel. That's how you do it, right?
Hey everyone, I'm Daniel. This is Daniel. Oh man, I don't know. All right, let's try again. What do I say?
You say I'm Daniel, I think.
Right, I'm Daniel. It's Daniel. I'm Daniel. Hey everyone.
Does it even matter?
I know, but it's just weird that I can't think of what I say every time for the.
There's one of those days.
95 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey everyone, it's Daniel.
And I'm Jun.
Wait, I'm Daniel.
I'm Daniel.
I think I say I'm Daniel. It's
Okay.
weird.
It's weird. It's one of those days.
Why can't I? Hey everyone, I'm Daniel.
Definitely not. I'm
This
Daniel.
is Daniel.
Yeah,
it's Daniel. I think Daniel.
this is Daniel.
This is Daniel.
Yeah.
I think it's Daniel.
It's Daniel. Okay.
That's what I said the first time, right? Hey everyone, it's Daniel.
And I'm
That's not
Jun.
right. That's not what we do. Let's just get through it. I don't care.
So weird.